Let's see who comes in today and what secrets are gonna be told today.
But never mind, ain't slipping. Too many things just ain't right. If everything
Hey, Keita.
baby, please explain.
Had to plug up my phone. My phone's almost dead.
Perfect.
Hey, Bella's World. Gonna let some things be told today. Hey, D. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. I would say happy Juneteenth, everybody, but this is not a happy Juneteenth to me. Everything I've been knowing for a while, but it's just now everything is being revealed to everyone else, and everyone is wanting to celebrate Juneteenth, and which is I don't celebrate it, not anymore, because I don't feel like we're liberated. I don't feel we're free. So this is not something that I can be happy for, because we're still being held in solitude and restrained from a lot of things. We're not totally free, everybody. We are still constricted as to what we can do. Shalom, Damien. So we are still oppressed people. So I'm gonna turn this down so you guys can still hear the music. We are still oppressed, everybody, and it is depressing for me to know that everybody is thinking that this is something to be happy for. This Juneteenth, of course, yes. We have been freed as slaves, but are we truly free? We're not free. We're still enslaved in a way. We're not enslaved to a plantation, but we're still enslaved to a master in a way. Whereas you see what went on with George Foreman, a white man still had his knee in his back on his neck. We still, in a way, have people's feet on our back and on our neck, knees in our neck, because they have a certain freedom and white privilege. I don't want anybody that's in my chat to take this out of context or to misconstrue what I'm saying, but this is strictly for dealing with the people of color as to what I'm saying. There is a difference between the white America and the black America. Black America are still constrained and held in bondage to what we can do, whereas the white people or white American can do and anything they want pretty much freely. Now there are some white people who have a struggle just like we do, but they don't have the same struggle as we have, because at any time there can be somebody to reach their hand out and pick them up, but who is there to reach their hand out to pick us up? We have to struggle and fight for everything that we want, everything that we get, everything that we have. People of color don't naturally gravitate to each other and reach and help each other out like other nations and nationalities do. Like the Africans and the Chinese, they'll all move into one house, even some of the Hispanics. I've seen it with the Hispanic families. They'll all move into one house. They'll help each other out. They'll buy one business, build that business up to where that business is booming. Then they'll reach back to their next person and get their business started, build them up. And then once that first one, that second one, they'll reach back for the third person, build them up. And here it goes, they're blossoming out, and they do the same thing until everybody has a business and they're all out, they've all branched out and doing well on their own. People of color cannot do that. They can, but they haven't, and it's making me very angry that we cannot get along like this. We have been conditioned that we can't do it. Um, all it is to try, but a lot of people don't want to try. A lot of people don't want to see that. And it's very heartbreaking because they look at it as, oh, this one is doing better than me. This one is doing more than me, when, you know, everybody can eat. All it takes is to get help into building each other up, and that's what we need to do as a people, everybody. Right now is the time. This is what we need to do. Hello, Keita, D Squared, Miss Keitha, Chocolate Dream, Real Entrepreneur, Damien, Bella's World, Audrina. How you guys doing? I'm back. Like I told you, I was running a little bit late, but I am here. For those who have not hit the like button, please hit that like button for me. That is very important that you do. So at least I know who I have here and make sure that you guys are counted for. I have seen a lot of things today and a lot of things over my lifetime, period. With the riots and the uprising that's been going on and the buildings being burnt. That was my neighborhood, you guys, that I grew up in, where George Floyd got killed. That was my neighborhood. That cup food store was not always there. It was a hardware, I believe it was a Snyder's drugstore that was there at one time. And everybody knew each other in that area. I went to the elementary school just a few blocks, I want to say like 6 blocks up from there, from 1st grade to 6th grade. I graduated from the elementary school. I lived in that area for God. I can't even tell you how many years. I want to say like 20 something years. Everybody know each other. You know, that was a big radius, but still, when you go to the elementary school, you go to the junior high school in that area. And my mother was a junior high school teacher there, which was right up the street from where I lived. And you go to the high school where all my brothers and sisters have went to that high school and graduated from. You know everybody, and everybody goes to the same church in that area. So, you know, you have your mothers of the church, you have the elders of the church, you know, the pastors of the church, you know, all the kids grow up, and you grow up like family. So, yeah, it's a real big thing. Let's see. I'm looking to see what you guys are saying in here. Yeah, everybody, thanks for saying hello to everybody. I appreciate that. Hey, Infiltration. Once again, please make sure you hit like on here. That would mean a lot to me. If you want to, you can share. I appreciate that too. But I'm just glad that you guys that are my regulars that have been here from day one, I appreciate you guys being here. Information that I have found out is that, you know, I don't like to get into a bunch of drama or a bunch of confusion, a bunch of mess. I said what I said earlier today. I don't regret what I said. I don't take it back. But like for that guy, you know, I've noticed this, and somebody told me every time I go live, 5-10 minutes later, somebody goes live right behind me. Now, you guys all know I came off of somebody else's page, and I started Aunty B's over there, but now I started my own page, and I'm Aunty B. Can't nobody kick me off of my page. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I'm not a bunch of blah, 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 blah. I'm not into all of that. So I want to keep this for everybody, where we all have a voice. We can voice our opinion and speak as one with no problems. There's not a whole lot of disagreements. There's not a bunch of arguing, not a whole bunch of mess. You can voice your opinion. You can voice your opinion, and we can come to a conclusion. It's okay to agree to disagree, because not everybody is going to like what you say or what you do. But let's just talk about it and get it over with and go back to our unity. That's what I want here. Okay. some things was said, about me, and which is I don't care, because don't nobody pay my bills, don't nobody take care of me but me and my husband. So God, I feel hair on me, feel like a fly, and I don't like bugs. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was saying I had went live, and somebody went live like 5 minutes, 10 minutes after me. You guys, I don't stop you from going to anybody's page. I appreciate you when you are here. You never hear me cussing and fussing at you unless I'm joking, but I'm never going to cuss at you. I may fuss a little bit, but I'm never going to cuss, and I fuss out of love, not out of anger, not out of frustration. I may say stuff to myself out of frustration, but I'm never going to do it to you guys, because that is very disrespectful, for one. Now, if you feel you want to go to another person's page and watch another person's page, that's fine. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me, what you do with over there. But please, whatever is over there, somebody else's page, leave it there. If it's something that you want to ask me that you have seen, and you be like, hey, did you know as far as what's in the news and what's going on, I welcome that. But what somebody says and what they're doing on their page, I don't care about that. Now, if you can go over to Tanique's page and be like, hey, Tanique is talking about this, and this. Okay, Tanique is talking about it. That's all fine and good. Tanique will call me and tell me, hey, this is this and this. I think you need to get on this and see what this is about. As you can see, I am up under Tanique Media's network. I have the badge on my page. That is my brother. I'm a sister to his page. And, so when somebody is attacking him, I feel some kind of way, because me and him has a friendship. We have a bond. I'm not going to let anybody or anything come between that. So you guys, whatever's saying on another page about him, leave it there, because we have so much going on. There's so much real life out here in the world that we need to talk about, and we need to be together as one on this. I don't care who's behind me, who's talking about my back. Talk to my back, because my front ain't understanding. Don't sit here and talk all that stuff. You can say what you want about me behind my back, but you ain't going to say it to my face. Because if you say it in my face, I'm probably going to laugh at you, because you look like a fool. And I feel like a fool for even coming out here saying this about somebody that's nothing. That's nothing to me. Mean nothing to my page. Don't have the same content as I do. He's not even the same caliber as I am. If this person was half a man, well, if he was a whole man as I am half a woman, he wouldn't even go into this bullshit. I'm sorry. He wouldn't go into this mess, because it's childish. It's very childish. It's high school. I don't even think I went through this kind of stuff in high school. Okay, Chocolate Dream. If you would like to call in, whatever you've seen on the news, the number is 302-223-4109. Chocolate Dream, call in. I have no problem about it. Call in. Anybody can call in. Hey, Goldilocks. What's up, Big Red? You guys, if you, like I said, if you want to be on another page, I'm not going to tell you don't be. I'm not telling you to get off and go somewhere else. I'm not going to do that. But if you're over here starting trouble, I'm going to ask you to stop it. I'm going to be polite about it. I may even time you out if I ask you not to do it and you continuously clashing with somebody. I would try to nip it in the bud to stop it, but I'm not that type of person. Just say, hey, get out. Because I may have something that you like to hear, or you may have a comment on. But if it's a bunch of drama, I'm going to ask you to stop it. But if you want to see somebody's page, I'm not going to tell you either you're going to be here, or you're going to be there, or you're going to get out. I'm not ever going to do that, because I don't care what page you go to. You have a life. You have a mind of your own to figure out what you want to listen to and what you don't want to listen to. Some people like to listen to a bunch of drama to get rah, 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 rah. And some people like to be just mellowed out. So if you want to go to another page, that's fine. If you want to be here, that's fine. If you want to go to both pages, that's fine. But just don't bring that drama from there here. Okay. Chocolate Dream, I'm waiting for you. Okay. What do I think about Native Americans wanting to join the Black Lives Matters to discuss racism? What I think about it, I don't know if you know, Chocolate Dream, but I am part Native American. My mother's father was Native American. My grandfather was Chippewa. He was full-blooded Chippewa. There's not a problem with Native Americans joining into Black Lives Matters because all lives matter. They really do. But it's just, it's a Black Lives Matter issue right now because more African Americans, blacks, whatever you want to call them, we're people just like everybody else, and we are being mistreated. We want to be treated better. I'm sure they will never treat us as an equal, but treat us better than what they have been doing. And don't just think you can treat us any kind of way and we're supposed to accept it. But any kind of discussion, no matter what color you are, is accepted here. I can't say about anybody else, but it's accepted here because all minorities are being mistreated, period, across the board. And there is some white people that are being mistreated. If you are white and you are around black people and you grew up around them and you talk black, act black, all of the above, then I'm not saying you're black, but you fit in with them, they're going to treat you differently too, because you're being stereotyped as a wannabe. And even some black people will stereotype you as a wannabe. So that's kind of walking a fine line with that. It's just you have to know and pick and choose your battles with that. You have to go in and listen to the flow of the discussion before you just jump in and have something to say. Let's see. But other than that, Chocolate Dream, I have no problem with anybody, no matter what your nationality is or where you're from, for you to speak on my platform, because everybody is welcome to talk. Everybody has a voice, and your voice is welcome to speak and be heard. Okay, it doesn't matter what you are, you know. I don't care if you was from Timbuktu and you part alien. You still have a voice. You deserve to be heard. What's up, Juice? Okay, I'm going to see if I can get my caller to call in, because my caller was out and about being grown. Grown. So let me see. All right, let me give him a call and let's see what's going on, you guys. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can get him to call in. Hey, you busy? I'm on my live now. I was wondering if you would be available to call in, or do you want me to call you? Okay, you got the number? Yep, that's it. All right. Talk to you in a minute. All right, bye. Okay, you guys, my caller is gonna call in. Let me make sure my phone line is set up. And if you guys have any questions, once you hear who it is and once I announce who he is, if you guys have any questions, you can be able to ask questions. Because I certainly have some questions that I think you guys would want to know. So I'm going to ask them for you. It's just I don't have his picture to set up here for you to know who he is. So I'm just waiting. Nope, I don't have a picture of him in here. So let me see. Let me put this one up first. There we go. We have a special guest caller. Alrighty, here he is.
Call from
Jesse James.
All right. Hello.
Hello. Push like and subscribe.
I'm sure they know that voice. Everybody, you know that voice.
I tell them to push like and subscribe. Y'all hit that like button. That's how you get down Google's news feed. You know, you need them push like when they come in.
Right.
16 people in here. They have 16 likes.
Right. I think I may have more than that. You guys, please hit that like button for me.
10 there. We need 6 more people to hit that like. It's 11. Look at that. Somebody's cool. I appreciate that.
Yep, I'm showing 16.
I'm showing 16 now.
Okay.
Look at that. They cool. That's what I'm talking about. Audience is nice.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for hitting that like for me. So what's going on, Tanique? What's happening with you today?
It's all good. What's up, Bella World? What's up, Damian Morgan? It's all I'm saying hi. I can see them up there. What's up, everybody? It's all good. Out here just trying to get the news out to people as we learn it.
Okay. Well, I wanted to interview you on a couple of things. I'm not going to go too in-depth. I'm sure a couple of people would like to ask some questions of you. But
Do the best we can.
Okay, I have a few questions that I have for myself that I know the answers of, but I don't think my viewers know. Okay, well, I'm going to get to that one in a minute. Okay, now, this one. I know that you're a musician and by trade, and the music that you play on your show, is that your own?
My own music.
Okay.
Me on keyboard and using a rolling drum machine. So
Okay.
I add the sounds of synthesizer. And created my own music because I didn't want to be bothered with YouTube and their music. You can use YouTube music on your channel, but then the people who put the sounds out there then turn around after your channel becomes popular and they strike your channel. So they go behind your back. YouTube will say, okay, use all this music. Is YouTube music free? But they're lying to you.
Okay.
This is other people's sounds that they put on YouTube. So you get 30, 40, 100,000 subscribers. Then they immediately flag your page and saying you stole their music when you actually got it from YouTube.
Okay.
And YouTube knows this. So it's best for you to find you can go to get a drum machine which has 1,000,001 sounds in it, and you can actually create your own music. But just I know how to actually work one. But if you don't know how to work one, there are pre-recorded sounds in it, and you can use that music, and that can become your theme music, and you won't be struck for using music on YouTube.
Okay. They're saying you have a dope track on your your show. Everybody knows when you come on, they know your music. And they
Yeah,
know that hit like and subscribe and like, subscribe and like. It doesn't matter.
A rapper, King Rod, he's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
He well, it wasn't King Rod, but it was another YouTuber. The name of it, I told him the name of it. He said no. He said name that Nipsey Hussle song. Every time he hears it, he thinks about Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
So I actually sent him the track because he liked to play it in his car because he likes to think about Nipsey, and hope for justice for Nipsey.
Right.
So it's a pretty cool deal.
Right. And that's what everybody associates that music with, you and Nipsey Hussle. You're right. So do you make any other music for any other people?
Absolutely.
Okay. You charge?
Absolutely. Huh?
Do you charge, and what are your fees?
Well, it depends on that person. I try and keep it reasonable. They can keep it on their show. Talk to them and kind of get an idea of what it is musically that they're looking for. I wanted something kind of soothing and something kind of soft because some of the subjects that we talk about are heart-wrenching and they're serious.
Right.
And so therefore I kind of wanted something comforting people because they're not listening to the best news or the best information, but at least they can have something soothing. And a lot of these people work, and we are the source of news that they get. They're not able to watch TV or watch the radio, so they really rely on what we're saying.
Right.
And what I try and do is really bring news and not BS. And I don't beg people to send money to my PayPal. I put it there if they do fine, if they don't fine. I do this out of love.
Okay.
There ain't no program y'all got to get with. The program is the state's attorney's office doing their job. They the ones who got the real program and the real movement. We just want everybody, not just the person who did it, but the person behind it as well too.
Right. Okay. Now, how many years have you been on YouTube?
I started on since 2006. I started on YouTube, but I didn't have my own page at that time. I didn't have my own YouTube platform.
Okay.
I started with another gentleman, and that gentleman started a YouTube page because they were at that time, back in that day, accusing Suge Knight of actually sitting next to a person. He actually paid for the hit on Tupac, and he gonna sit there while a person's shooting to a car, and he's big as I am, 6'4", 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. Ain't nowhere in the world you gonna pay nobody to shoot up no car while you in it and stray bullets fly everywhere.
Right.
And so Frank Alexander, Tupac's one of his former bodyguards, did a book called Got Your Back.
Okay.
And in that book, he was hammering away hard that Suge Knight did this. And this wasn't a good look for Suge. Not saying Suge is no angel. I never say he's an angel, but I don't believe a person should go down for something they didn't do.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to get a person, get them for what they did, but don't try and get them for what they didn't do. Suge was not Tupac's enemy, but the FBI, COINTELPRO, the government was for sure not only his enemy, we got the documents to prove it, the enemy of his family. Mutulu Shakur has been in jail almost 20 years past his release date. He's still in jail. Why? For what? Everybody else has been paroled to go home. He's been there 20 years past. They do not like the Shakurs. And so we know what his real enemy is, but they use these diversion people. You got to watch these people. I notice every time I do a video about the LAPD, somebody pop up on their channel and lying and going on and saying things. It ain't worth mentioning, so I won't mention nobody's name.
Right.
But every time I expose the LAPD, last night was the first time people actually saw an article that the Eric Holder accused the LAPD of paying him.
Wow.
That was the first time. I had big YouTubers call me and say, man, I never saw that before. And now they got a piece of document that they can show that this guy really did accuse the LAPD of approaching him with $75,000
wow.
to kill Nipsey Hussle and promised him that nothing would happen. And so the reason I played the video of 2019 was so people could see that judge ordered a speedy trial. And a speedy trial must be within 60 days.
That's what
So
I
here
thought,
we are.
between 30 and 60 days.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are, almost a year, and some months later,
Mm-hmm.
and that has not been honored, and that alone is a technicality that can be raised up during a trial, where that case would be thrown out because
Right.
he didn't get a speedy trial after it was demanded by Christopher Darden.
No,
never rescinded.
Keita, that is not allegedly. He just said he had documents and paperwork to show that it was
I don't pay no attention.
$75,000.
Keep on going. You don't even talk to
Okay.
people like that. Just keep on moving.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, like I said, the documentation is there. It's not alleged. He did say it. And, not only that, there are several other people who went to the trial with me, people who don't sit on their ass, but they actually got up and went to the trial a few months ago, and we was in the courtroom. And these people here don't know what the hell we talking about. They ain't been nowhere.
Right.
But nevertheless, we heard him say that he was going to name names, and he was willing to call out names. He did the same thing Epstein did. Epstein said, "I'll tell you everything. I'm going to squint on everybody."
Right.
And they want you to believe that man's dead. This guy just said the same thing. You don't believe me? Go to a Million Hits channel. He says it. He said that Eric Holder was named names.
Yes, he
And
did.
He said,
I watched that.
He said, I'm going to put those names out the next day, but for some reason, he never put those names out the next day.
He was
we have people
threatened
who
not to.
go to the trial. Yeah, well, I don't know what the reason was, but he actually took you to the police station, the courthouse, and they told you who owned that property and everything. I mean,
Wow.
you can't get no more transparent than that. He had a young lady who was running for the council.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
she was in shock. And he was at the courthouse right there on Temple, and he said, "I'm going to tell you the names that Eric Holder named in court." But they never put that video up.
Yeah, I heard
Because,
it was,
of course,
I heard
he
it was
lives
because
in
he got
California, so
threatened
it's not
not
good.
to.
Yeah, I don't know if he got threatened, but I know that he didn't ever put them names up there.
No, he
because,
didn't.
them people still out there and they're still alive.
Yeah, it was a big controversy about that too, because he said that, they show him he was there at the courthouse, just like I know you
Yes.
were there because I had spoke
Yep.
to you on the telephone. When you were there.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that, but I was on the phone
Yeah, I
talking to
remember.
you. Yep.
Yeah,
And you were saying that
one
A
of the
Million
things
Hits
that
was
I
there.
thought was interesting was when I saw one of the presidents of Black Lives Matter there. I was like, okay, that is different, and I still didn't understand that point, and that's something we've been talking about for a while. So everybody's watching this case. It's not gonna go away. Corona or nothing ain't gonna stop this. We now know the coronavirus is a fluke. It's just a regular flu, and it's killed about as many people as the regular flu does, and they just trying to send us into panic and keep us off our game, but that ain't gonna work.
They're trying to
Nobody's many protests that died, have they?
No.
All the protests, I want you to pay close attention to that. Nobody's worried about the coronavirus now. Now that the protests are kind of dying down, they now want to try and insert the coronavirus again.
Yeah, now they're saying the numbers are going up.
Oh, so maybe we should just keep protesting.
If that's what's going to work, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now, with this one, I know things get kind of exciting and, hectic with you. How many stars have you met and interviewed throughout your years on YouTube?
Well, my platform is not necessarily based on interviewing stars as much as it is dissecting information that's put out in paper, on paper.
Okay.
I'm not one of those platforms that just make up shit. Some people get out here and they make up stuff.
Right.
And they have you on there. They ain't got nothing to put in front of anybody. They just running a mouthful of speed. What they're hoping for is to get you to send them some quick money down at they PayPal. They don't have anything. That's not even a platform. You're ignorant and stupid if you go to a platform like that.
And then you keep going around and around and around on the same thing when there's nothing new changed.
And it's stupid. And 100 people tuning in because your show is boring and it's stupid. It's a dumb platform that don't make any sense. But nevertheless, there's documentation that is released on various categories, personalities, and things of that nature. And it don't mean you have to believe everything you read. You have to dissect it. And when you dissect it, you go, wait a minute, this don't sound right. This don't make any sense. You know, it's like everybody talking about Juneteenth. All right, like for instance, Juneteenth, whatever it is, which consists of, again, false information given to black people.
Yeah.
Shit pulls up and says, okay, black people, you guys are free.
But we're not really free.
Only, let me finish. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's talk about them during that time. So they go and they think they're free, and they're not free.
Right.
And we still ain't free. And most people don't even understand this. In 1968, Lyndon B. Johnson made an amendment to the Emancipation Proclamation, where Abraham Lincoln did 400-something years before that. He declared that all men are created equal and all that stuff, but he didn't make it a law. So that's why we wind up spending another 400-500 years in slavery,
right?
Because it wasn't a law. So Lyndon B. Johnson, after he found out he wasn't going to get the Democratic nomination, got mad, and he made that a law. So the Senate and the House came back and said, okay, well, you may make it a law, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it a law that is voted on every 30 years. So every 30 years, they still vote to see if we can retain the freedoms that were granted by Lyndon B. Johnson.
Right.
What the hell am I going to set Juneteenth for and celebrate it, and we still not free?
Because at any one of those 30-year marks, they could say, hey, we want to put them back in slavery, and then here we go, back living slavery
back all over again. So if you wanted to really fix the situation, acknowledge slavery, then repeal that law, make black people free, because President Nixon and J. Edgar Hoover deemed black people as the #1 threat to America, and the first time the word terrorist was used in 1971 against black people. And that's why they were able to go and kill the Panthers.
Yeah.
All right? So my whole point is, if they wanted to acknowledge slavery, then they would repeal that law and say all men are truly created equal and black people are 100% American free, and get rid of this slavery, this slave system that they got, which keeps us oppressed. Schools with horrible books. And there's some schools in Chicago where the kids still go to school in trailer maids, those old raggedy trailers that are falling apart with air conditioners that don't work, heaters that don't work, asbestos still in the schools. All right, how do these kids expect to get ahead when they blow dust off the books? So therefore, the whole system needs to be changed completely.
Or better yet,
I'll celebrate.
You think about how some schools, they're giving away these kids with these tablets and laptops, where in Chicago and even some southern states, they're still using these old box computers.
Unreal. And that's why I say that they put out a few celebrities telling us to celebrate something. And that's why I say you critical thinkers, you have to think about what it is you just heard and look at the actions that have gone forth. You can put a celebrity before me, it don't mean nothing to me. I'm not going home with that person's money. But they put these celebrities out there, and these people are so celebrity driven, and when these celebrities do not care about you, the only thing you are is a dollar to them. What they're concerned about is how much money they can get you to spend on their merchandise.
Yeah.
And you keep them rich, living in big Beverly Hills homes. Their kids will never know what your kids know. Most of them don't even experience. They did experience at one time, but they don't experience it anymore, and they've forgotten what it's like.
Yeah.
How you gonna be a multi-millionaire worth $50 million for 20 years and remember what used to happen in the hood? Yeah, you may remember, but you ain't going down there too quick.
And see, that's why I admire Nipsey so much, because even though he got to the stats where he was making money, he stayed
true
grounded.
to the hood.
Yep. And
that's why those same celebrities didn't like Nipsey, because he stayed true to the hood.
Yep. And even though look at Monty, she got money, but he kept her grounded with the hood. Now the only one who won't grow up and be able to know the hood like that is Cross.
Oh no, I think for her reputation, he'll be directly in the hood. If we take a look at her, the way she's traveled, we have nothing to worry about. He'll be directly in the hood because I don't know what her problem is. See, most people in the hood are not people who want to be in the hood. You know, we're product of where our parents created us at.
Yeah.
So, you know, my parents had me on the west side of Chicago,
Yeah.
1848 South Drake. I would have loved to have been in Beverly Hills, you know, but unfortunately that wasn't the life that was afforded to me.
See,
So,
I grew up.
you know,
I'm from the west side of Chicago too, 1251
okay,
California.
so you understand, west
Yep,
side is
I
the
know
house.
the struggle.
You know
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore, you gotta make do whatever is you given to from that particular point.
Yeah.
Right there, you know. So my whole point in saying that is most of us dream of getting out of the hood, get college. Most of us want to be veterinarians or whatever it takes, or if you had a talent to move you out of the hood. And we want to do something for the hood, but, you know, we want to get ourselves out of there first. I think that's most important, you know, to get out of there. But when you look at this woman had a Jewish father that was well off. Mother never suffered or what have we. And yet she wants to go in the hood and pretend that she's these girls who are forced to be in the hood.
Like Nunu, the character she played.
I think that character did something to her mind. And, you know, a lot of Nipsey's being off guard is because of, you know, he had to watch her. Like that one raffle they had. You know, one of the things he had to do was send J-Rock to take her away because he knew something was going to pop off at any given time. And there are chicks that were there that wanted to do harm to that girl because they didn't want to be there. She didn't have to be in there. And that's an insult to people who are forced to sleep with men, to be a part of a gang. And here you are, you have all of this money, and it's like you're mocking them right in front of their face.
Right. Yeah. Yep, you're exactly right.
So you got to protect your brother, you got to protect your father, you got to protect your woman,
kids,
your kids, yourself.
Even your close associates. People, you know, they'll get your close associates to get to you.
The thing I find out about Nip and Tupac, these two young men had probably more responsibility than any young men I ever met in my life. They had the responsibility of old men.
Then a couple of men put together.
You know, Pac was family riding, everybody there, mom riding. She was homeless while he was in jail. He had to take care of that, take care of himself. That's a lot of. How can you be on guard when you got all of this responsibility from people who could be doing other things? Become a nurse. It takes 2 years to go to nursing school to get your associate's degree. Nobody else wanted to be nothing but ride on you. That always intrigued me. So you're going to slip when you got that kind of pressure.
Yeah. So what was the most exciting things that you've got out of following this Nipsey case?
I wouldn't say the Nipsey case, but I would say, because Nipsey is not the only thing that I covered, though I covered Nipsey because Nipsey's tragedy invaded my eyes and my life. I wasn't looking for that tragedy. It invaded my life and caught me up. You know, I talk to people who have never saw a murder before, but they flashed that all around the media, and people eyewitness a murder and they have psychological issues behind it. Yeah. And the only thing that they want to see is the people responsible for this go to jail.
Yeah.
That's what they want to see because they feel violated.
Yeah.
And the way they took this man's death with these blurry videos and showed it all around the country, it was an invasion in people's life.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the things he said, that if something happened to him, he would expect people to ride for him.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride this until justice is served.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it for no other purpose other than that. I'm not trying to become a big YouTuber. In fact, there are thoughts in my mind like when this is over with and justice is truly served, not to even do this no more.
Okay.
But I'm going to ride this for him because he's the only entertainer that has ever asked the people for help if
Yeah.
something happened to him.
Because he knew something was going to happen, and he didn't want his murder to be in vain and be just swept under the rug. He knew somebody was out there after him.
Well, let's do it this way. One thing we know for sure, he knew on the set of that dumb video Higher
Yeah.
that definitely somebody was after him.
Yes.
That's where it started at. And somebody actually sent me a picture that I made display from an anonymous source. These people use fake emails.
Mm-hmm.
But it is actually on the set. And it is actually when Nipsey got the first phone call and trouble on the set actually began. And you can see it clearly in his face that he is not enjoying that phone call. And I happen to have the photo of that.
Okay,
it's
now,
not in the video. It's just a still picture that was taken on that set when Nipsey got the phone call. You can see that he went trouble.
Yeah. Now, I know that Big U was sending text messages back and forth to him that day on the video shoot, because he has been on the record on it was some dude, I can't think of his name, but he does a lot of videos, and he had Big U on there on his show.
That's Kev Mack.
Yep, that's the show. And Big U said he had texted him back and forth that day of that Higher video.
Yeah, but he displayed those texts, and those texts were about paying Nipsey his money, for the show that we didn't even know he set it up. He put that show on that was in San Diego.
But it wasn't for that show. It was something that he was asking Nipsey to pay
he said
up.
It was for the show, and Nipsey, no, it was for the show, and Nipsey told him that because he was Grammy nominated or whatever, the price went up for the show.
Okay.
And he even said that after the tragedy, you can check with the family, that he did give the family Nipsey's money, even though he didn't have to. He did anyway.
Okay.
So he was straightforward about that, and he showed those videos.
Okay.
He showed those text messages. But the thing that got me was the DJ Khaled, Muhammad, and John Legend and Atlantic Records is the people who secured that building for that shoot. This is not Nip. Nip didn't invite these people into California to do no video. They've taken over California. Mysteriously, everybody's dead. Suge Knight's in jail. Nipsey was the last stronghold. Now, all of New York has been kicked out. And ironically, that same plan that they ran in New York is the same one they're trying to do in Nipsey's hood. Now, starting with that alleged Nipsey Tower that we ain't seen yet. But nevertheless, my point is, now all of them have to move out of New York and make California their home. So they all now in California, and California is officially being ran by the East Coast, which goes back to what some people say Pac was trying to tell them. That's why he wanted to move Death Row east into New York, because Pac was from New York, and he knew that they had plans of coming out, taking over the West Coast.
Okay. Somebody is saying that they think that for the video shoot is where Nipsey was kidnapped from there.
Anything could happen. That's why I'm pissed at John McKinney, the DA, who has not subpoenaed Tanisha Foster, to my knowledge. He has not subpoenaed Lauren London. Those last 3 days, we want to know about that relationship. We need to know about the last 48 hours of Nipsey Hussle's life. And at my last court appearance, the last 48 hours is not accounted for. You cannot do a thorough investigation if you're going to just go off Cowboy's testimony and the driver, who is complicit. She was a part of the whole thing and drove the alleged murderer there. That is the bulk, that is the biggest part of the evidence that the state is using to try and convict this boy. But the situation that led up to all of this, which would be the last 48 hours of his life, there's no thorough investigation. There was no DNA taken off those cars. If blood was there, it would be, especially
it would
the
have
white
been on
car.
their cars if he would have got shot outside. For the amount of times that he got hit, that blood, you know, once you get hit, that blood will splatter.
Splatter
There's no
everywhere.
blood
Check this
splatter
out, though.
on none of those cars. And it was a white car right there. I didn't see a drop or smudge or nothing of blood.
Let's go better than that. Why isn't Kerry Lathan laying in his blood? Okay, Kerry Lathan's laying right next to him. He should be covered in Nipsey's blood. He's not cut. And they should have his clothes, because his clothes would have had both bloods on there. None of that stuff. They're not even dealing with DNA evidence.
Yeah, his clothes would have been soaked with blood for that many shots.
We know from Johnny Cochran how important DNA is. So why isn't DNA really important in this trial?
Yeah.
You know, notice they haven't mentioned the guns. What happened to the gun? Even though we clearly only see one gun in that video, they say it was two guns.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen one. They haven't named the make and model of the gun. They claiming he was shot 10 times, but only collected 6 shell casings.
Right.
They claim that the bullets ricocheted off the cars, but not one car had any dent of a bullet.
No, nothing. Now, my thing is this also. I know how the blood splatters. I know how when you get shot like that, what the blood will do, because my brother was shot. And I have seen a man get shot in his head. I've seen a graze wound on somebody's head. There would have been so much blood. That would have looked like almost like a slaughterhouse over there. Two people got shot. It would have been a whole lot of blood. Just that head wound would have splattered blood onto that window from where he was. It would have went to that window. It would have been splattered up that window.
How about 3 people getting shot?
Right.
But we got the magic belt. The belt
that belt. I still say I want one of them belts. That's a magic belt.
I want one of them belts too. I didn't put it out there for somebody to call and tell me what. Okay, to ask another question. Why isn't Shermy Villanueva on the prosecution's list to be called? He's being they're trying to charge the boy with attempted murder, but I haven't seen Shermy Villanueva on any court papers. He didn't testify during the grand jury hearing. Why is that? There's reports that he fled the country and was in Venezuela or in Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And I find it unbelievable how that whole crime scene was tampered with. And
immensely, yes.
And now here it is. You never see anybody going, if it was ricocheted or that many bullets flying, I never saw pictures or photograph or hear say or told or anything about anybody checking the wall to see if bullets went into the walls.
None whatsoever at all.
Did any bullets? But he was shot right there by the car. Why didn't the windows of any of those cars get struck? Because if a bullet went through, why didn't it hit any of those windows?
The biggest bulk of their story is coming from Cowboy, which his credibility is shot.
Is worth.
We got a 30-minute video with him on YouTube saying these words, exact words. You can look it up. I already got copies of it. That I didn't see shitty cuz shoot nobody. I came out and saw a dude running. I don't know who it was, and Nip laying there. I didn't see it. So now, all of a sudden, many months later, after they put him in jail, all of a sudden now, his testimony is there was a conversation about snitching, going with the LAPD story that they put out. LAPD put that out. And that's what made the family mad. The family was mad at one thing. LAPD put out that Nipsey Hussle was meeting with the police. LAPD lied. It was Rock Nation meeting with the police department.
Right.
Now, I haven't seen anything from people who matter that says Nipsey was going to be a part of meeting with no police, because if Nipsey was going to be meeting with the police with his credentials in the 60s, that is a very, very, very serious violation. But Rock Nation meets with the police, and of course, people have said that they office is right next door to the Beverly Hills Police Department.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this. I showed some months and months and months ago. Right when I first started off, was given some photos. In one photo, they were showing the police coming out of the marathon early in the morning, and I believe it was like maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They had a red biohazard bag. That blue jogging suit that Nipsey wore the day before, where he was supposed to have been at that basketball game, you can tell it's that same jogging suit. And it was too big of a bag to be just a jacket. It had, or just pants. It had to be the jacket and the pants. And even with the bag being red, you can tell when something is wet inside. You can tell when it's water, or you can tell if it's blood. Because with blood, you will see like red smudge up against the bag, the plastic on it, and you still see that the bag is red, but it's like a clear red. You know what I'm saying? It's not a solid red, but you can tell it was that jogging suit, and you can tell that it was bloody. I don't know if you've seen that picture. If you haven't seen it, I got it. I can send it to you. But it was.
I see. I see. I think I got that on one of my videos too.
It was
that
early in the morning. The day before, hours before I want to say when they said that Nipsey got shot 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to say it happened between, I'll say about 3 something that morning.
Yeah, between 2 and 3 in the morning. I would say, like I say, I always go off the tweet that was tweeted by Pac-Man, the gunman, and I believe that 100% was about Nipsey Hussle. If y'all go to church today, pray for us.
Yeah.
I don't care what they try and tell you. Nobody knew that was there. But when you do a thorough investigation, you can gather this information out, and that's why I waited so long to put it out.
Okay. Yeah.
That was at like 3:10 when he put the tweet out.
Yeah.
Calling for prayer.
Yeah. And it wasn't because they were saying, oh, he having a baby and she's in labor. I don't believe that.
When you look at their tweet, one thing Nipsey said that I like, if you listen to a lot of things Nipsey said, when you put something out on the internet, he said, realize they got it. So if he put it up, he never taken it down. But when people go change their whole Twitter and everything after you to reveal something, that tells you was right from the very beginning.
Yeah. And I genuinely, in my heart, and I have been saying this from day one, that it was early in the morning. Early in the morning. Because I'm not seeing bright daylight. It was not bright daylight. And for Lauren London to say that I can't remember if she said she hadn't seen him for 3 days before.
I don't care what she said. I know that Jada Pinkett didn't ask her what happened your last 3 days of the relationship.
Right.
Tell us about it.
Right.
I mean, ain't nobody asking her nothing. She's not stupid. She knows that anything she say can and will be used against her. That's what's wrong with this case. The people all wanted 20 minutes of fame, and we got their words, and they mad. And this stuff is going to be used against them in the court of law. Nobody asked Tanisha to come out and say she talked to him 30 minutes before she died. That puts you at the scene. Did you hear anything? Was there a struggle? You are actively involved with this case.
Right.
If you were on the phone with a person 30 minutes before they died, you may know who was with them. You may know something was going on. Did he hurry up and get off the phone?
Right.
These people are actively involved with this case. They put themselves there.
Right. Now, it's a lot of things that were said and done that were out of character for a lot of people. Like Cowboy. Cowboy walked past the dude and thought nothing of it, but that would have raised the flag right there. Dude, you ain't been around this neighborhood in a long time. What's up with you? Why you around here now? And you just gonna walk past him and walk away, and you seen him with a strange look on his face, and just the whole conversation that was supposed to have took place of, oh, you snitching, why you around here? But yet you ain't. This is supposed to be your boy, and snitches get stitches. And for Nipsey to just call him that, and that's kind of a disrespect out in the street life. So Cowboy say he heard him say something like that. Why weren't you there to watch his back to see what was going on? You walk past him and hurry up and go in there and take your food in there. He said walk to the back and come back out. But by the way, you see how you got to walk through there. As soon as he got into the door, gun.
Listen, we didn't hear nothing about no snitches until the LAPD released that.
Right.
And listen, the LAPD released that before Nipsey died. I've talked to several people that said that gang task force officers started to spreading among the 60s that Nipsey was going to meet with the police long before he was going to be out there that Sunday. And again, I say that's what the family was mad at. And they came right out as soon as, we were going to meet with him tomorrow. Jay Brown and Rock Nation and Nipsey Hussle about what? Gang. Nipsey was an active 60 who told Puffy, when Puffy asked him, where you from? I'm from the 60s, rolling 60s. Nipsey wasn't inactive, he was active. So why would he be meeting with the police? It's a lie. That's the narrative that they planned for you to believe, that Nipsey was meeting with the police, and that's not true. And that's one of the things I know for a fact. Even the guy in the British documentary, he said that's what made the police told him. It made the family mad. They put out that he was meeting with the police, and they rightfully so.
Right. Now, this is another thing that has me kind of thinking some kind of way. Lauren London is saying that she was with him 3 days before, but I was told he was also with Tanisha the 3 days before.
I was told allegedly he left her house that night.
Exactly, and that he was with Tanisha for those 3 days. Now, I've also heard that they haven't been together in close to a year, but they just stayed.
No, I don't know about all that. I do know that they had some kind of words which may have caused them to separate for a week. And he may have went back to his mom's house. So instead of going to the grandma's house, that's why the mom said it's strange. He didn't go back to the grandma's house, but he came back to her house. And she's telling you that he was troubled and had to be troubled about that relationship. So I believe that they had a falling out and hadn't seen each other for a while.
Well, now this is the thing. Hear me out on this one. They said it had been close to a year, but they stayed together out of appearances' sake, because it was worth more to stay together for appearances than to go apart. Because
I don't know about that. Well, I do know
because he put money into her career.
How come if your man, this your man or your woman, and they're gone at they usually home at night, the store's closed or whatever it may be, ain't no parties going on, you be with you, okay? So let's just make it, let's say, okay, 12 o'clock, okay, let's give it 12 o'clock, you having fun. Okay, 1 o'clock he gone, 2 o'clock he gone, 3 o'clock in the morning he gone, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're not looking over on the other side of your bed going, I got to call and see where my child's father or my man is. 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, you still ain't alarm. 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, you still ain't alarm. 12 o'clock noon, you still ain't alarm. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you still ain't alarm. We don't see you. We see you at the hospital screaming and hollering, but when that security guard standing there, all of a sudden you stop. So it's like, how many hours you want to think, and all of a sudden now you just show up because you ain't looked for him none that night.
But 3 days done went by and you ain't raising no alarm. What's going on? Where you at? Where you been? I'm coming looking for you.
Exactly, and so that's why I say that was probably the best acting role of her life.
That's the exact same thing I said. None of her movies that she ever did amounted to nothing, but this one is the performance where she should get an Oscar for.
That's exactly the way I feel.
Because she's doing some hellified acting for this. Even her new in whatever that movie was, Atlanta, that none of that, nothing she's ever, even the series that she was doing wasn't nothing to me. But her best performance is her acting out
I
this with Nipsey.
love the ATL, but I just didn't like her role. The twins were my favorite. The
Yeah.
T.I. and his partners and the twins carried that movie. If you
Yeah.
would have removed that role or cut her role out of that, it would have been better because
Or
you know
put
what?
somebody else in it.
The two things wouldn't have happened in Chicago, and you from Chicago and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
One, Nunu is not going on the west side, the Austin district. That ain't gonna happen in Chicago. Maybe you can do that in California. They don't care who your man with. It ain't gonna happen. And 6ix9ine with rainbow colored hair is not going to be over in Gangsta Disciple territory, Black Gangsta Disciple, Vice Lord.
No
that
way.
Ain't gonna happen in Chicago.
No way.
I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen up there.
He ain't even gonna be in there with the Latin Kings too long either, with rainbow colored hair.
Or nor the Gangsta Disciples, Black. That ain't gonna happen in Chicago.
Not with that rainbow hair.
So that's why I couldn't relate to that role because it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a lot of inconsistencies with her and her stories and her renditions of what was going on. Like, out of all things, at his memorial service, that drawn out text message, what was that? That was the most phoniest made up something I've ever heard. That's the only up-to-date thing she could have came out with, something that came out months ago. She couldn't say something that was from her heart. You got to read a text message that you sent. And then it was something in there that caught me as funny. She said that she felt some kind of way, and that he will always be to her. That goes to show you that it was something that she wrote up. Why would you sit here? And she said, I will never give up on you. Why would you're with this man. She said she was laying in the bed with him, looking at him, watching him sleep. Why would you say in a text message, I will never give up on you? That right there shows me that they were not together. It was like, I'm not giving up on you. You are mine. I'm not giving up on you. I'm hoping that things will get better. I'm not giving up on you. You may change your mind. So they're sleeping in this house like together, but they're not together.
So I want to know, who was he scheduled to meet at Baba Leo's? That says a whole lot too. Somebody knew he was coming.
Yeah.
Just think about it. We know for a fact that Eric came from a whole different part of California. So how would he know that Nipsey Hussle was going to be there?
Yeah.
So somebody in that inner circle had to call and let him know that Nip was coming up there. And so you would have had to know that he was going up there.
And once again, who was the last people that he talked to? Only the last people that he talked to.
His life.
Huh?
From that concert, because the concert was held at the basement. I could tell a lot in San Diego, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But there was some things at that concert. There were some guys at that concert that Nip didn't know. So that's a whole nother ball game.
That made him feel uncomfortable.
Exactly, made him feel uncomfortable at that concert. And I just think the whole meeting with Firebug and stuff like that, I think Nipsey started to see something was definitely wrong, from the concert to Firebug bumping into him, and then going out to the game. Who did he see at that game? I mean, what happened at that game? I mean, when did he leave that game? All of this stuff should have been investigated, which is one of the reasons why the judge is sitting back knowing that these questions have to be answered. And I'm going to tell you, they held that video back because the next question is, where did those guns come from?
Right.
If Eric Holder said that one of those guns came from the LAPD, all hell is going to break loose. That's why they released those videos.
I'm going to tell you something, and you can put your 2 and 2 together with this. Firebug said it out of his own mouth. He was up that way towards Anaheim, and didn't Nipsey have a concert up near Anaheim or in Anaheim?
No, that's where the game was.
Well, something, yeah, okay. Well, he had a concert up somewhere nearby there.
Who?
Didn't he do a concert over that way somewhere?
No, I think you're talking about the E Gunna concert. And you're talking about the concert that Big Unum was going to.
No,
But
Nipsey did a concert before the
no,
game.
Nipsey did a concert in San Diego,
That's
and
the,
I
that's
don't know
it.
about no
That's
concert
it.
before the game.
That's
But
it.
that was Friday night in San Diego at a club called the Basement.
That's it. Firebug had said he was up that way. I can't remember the town, but he was up that way. He didn't want to say.
I ain't never heard him say he was near San Diego.
He didn't say he was in San Diego, but it's close to San Diego. Of course, he's not going to say he's in San Diego. Nipsey's already there. He don't want to incriminate himself, so he said he was somewhere in a town that's up that way.
Okay, so all that's fine and dandy, but fact is Nipsey came home. So at this concert, he's back in his area that Saturday, so that don't mean anything.
Right. But then that's what I'm saying. He's up that way. Then all of a sudden, he comes back home, and he's at this game. He feels some kind of way at this game because he noticed something and feels funny about it. Then all of a sudden, he runs into Firebug at the place where he get the green drink.
Right. Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but I
can't either. I got it.
Yeah, I got it wrote down somewhere. But, he feels some kind of way. And then it was a lot of inconsistencies there of what Firebug was saying versus what was actually said. But nobody...
I don't know about inconsistencies, but one thing he did say that I find absolutely interesting that everybody skips over. And he, states that he knew he wasn't supposed to be up that way, but he was hungry. All right? And that was the only place to get something to eat. So as he parks near some dudes in a green car.
Right.
And the girl asks, are those Nipsey's bodyguards? Now, hold on a second. Why would she ask him, are those Nipsey's bodyguards?
Right.
What drew her attention to those guys? And he said, nope, them definitely are not Nipsey's bodyguards. Who are those guys?
That mean that he knew who they were.
Yeah, he knew that they wasn't. He knew one thing for sure: they wasn't definitely rolling 60s.
Right.
But he knew that they were. So, who were those guys? And let's look at another thing. Why would Nipsey leave him money in the car for 45 minutes? I don't believe it.
And I don't believe if he did leave her in the car. I don't believe she was there by herself.
Okay, good. So who was in the car with her? We know Lauren wasn't.
Tanisha, because he was with Tanisha. And it didn't want to get out because it didn't want it to get back to Lauren because that will cause a big rift at that house. But at that point, he did not care because he was pretty much tired of Lauren with her BS at that time.
I don't think he really wanted that woman in the beginning. It's real simple. If you go back to when they initially broke up, was that she brought Jay-Z, Puffy, and she brought big time music people, and she brought the Candy. All right.
Yep.
Your heart's in one place, but she brought Candy. When they initially broke up, and he announced that they broke up, but they agreed to parent, those cats wouldn't deal with him no more because he wasn't with her.
Yep.
And immediately when he made up with her, then they came back around.
And that's why they kept it quiet that they weren't broke up.
If he would have stayed with whoever he was with during that time, he wouldn't have had the access to these guys who he was trying to emulate and be successful on the West Coast and do what they did. But I believe somebody had it in their mind, we never going to let you do on the West Coast what we did. There's going to always be a fear of people of what Death Row did. And what Suge Knight did was real simple. Suge Knight wasn't a terror to people, but he was a terror to people who didn't pay black people their money.
Right.
And if you hired him to go get your money, instead of using street gangs to kill each other, he took them up there and got your money from those people at the record company who had hired your money. So now the record companies, in turn, learned from that. And they've already bought most gangs to get started with. That's why when you act up in a gang, you make it in the industry. It's usually somebody right there in that gang that's gonna get you already, because the record companies hired them all.
Yep. Yep. And see, that's what I sat here and I said that. That's why I said it was a little more than, I want to say between 6 months to close to a year, that him and Lauren were not together. I'm waiting for a person to show me this proof of that. But they stayed together for the industry's sake, because, like you just explained it yourself, that if he was not with her, he was not going to get this, and this was not going to happen. So and she needed his money because he had put money into her TV show. So for appearance's sake, they were going to stay together and in the house and act like they were a couple for him to keep getting.
When you're an alleged beautiful woman,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I don't judge guys. I'm not saying whether Nipsey's handsome or Lil Wayne
handsome
is
guy.
not handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's for a chick to judge. I don't judge that. When
Okay.
when you're an alleged beautiful woman and an actress, okay, and these guys who are definitely, in the streets, and they definitely banging. Lil Wayne's a blood and Nipsey is a rolling 60. Okay, when you are a Hollywood actress and neither one of them wants you, it is that sends a very bad message about you. So you bring a woman to the hospital while your woman is having your baby, and then break up with her, then go back to your daughter's mom. That says to me a lot about how much this man don't want that woman.
Exactly.
And, I don't care how you look at it. And I just saw recently Lil Wayne's ex on a show explaining how her home was wrecked. And she was like, everything's good now, but she still says her home was wrecked. So some person has a problem with wrecking homes.
Yeah. Now, this is a thing that I have found out, and I'm trying to get with this lady because she is a girlfriend of one of Nipsey's friends, and she still feels the effects of Nipsey's death because of her boyfriend still feeling the effects of Nipsey's death. And from my understanding that her boyfriend and Nipsey were very close. I know her name, but I cannot disclose for confidentiality of her. She has told me some information and she has pictures. She sent me pictures, but I can't come out with them yet. Back when Lauren was pregnant with Cross, well, right before when she first found out that Tanisha was also pregnant, Nipsey told Tanisha to get an abortion, just like he had said to Lauren that it was not a good idea for her to.
I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to go off into that. Again, that's why I use documents, because you got to be careful not to go off into that kind of thing. You got to put something up there, and say, look, this is what I'm basing it on. Otherwise, people will come after your page and come after you. So that's why I always slap that document up there. Here you go. This is what somebody said, even if it's a text, even if it's a tweet, even if it's from MTO, the Los Angeles Times, New York Times, Daily News. It can be from Twitter, but you have to have something to say that this person did that or the other, or you'll open yourself up like other YouTubers did to a huge lawsuit. Okay. That's why I always put it up there and say, look, this is what I'm basing this from right here. It's in writing. So I didn't say it, but it's in writing. I'm going to explore the possibility. I put up Eric Holder last night in a legitimate paper where he said he was offered $75,000. Then I doubled back and got two people from the street that said the going rate to kill somebody is $75,000.
Wow.
So I can prove my point.
So human life don't mean too much of nothing.
It don't mean nothing for nobody. They don't care if you're a doctor or a lawyer, because these people are hungry. They got no place to go, but they will kill you for $75,000. And now the person who's paying the $75,000 wanted video. So now this video comes into question. How did TMZ get that video? Why wasn't that video taken by the police department? All the evidence should have been collected because a murder happened, and TMZ never should have got that video.
Mm-hmm. Wow. But it's kind of crazy now. Allegedly that whenever Nipsey and Lauren would break up, there was another guy she was seeing that.
I don't know anything about that at all. Period. Again, let's kind of stick with what we know.
Okay, that's why I said allegedly.
Because, I just, I'm not trying to hurt this trial. I want the people who did it to go to jail.
Right.
My only reason why I put Lauren London in here is because all of a sudden now she don't know anything about this period of time that Nipsey was gone. I don't buy that. I don't believe that.
Now, this is the thing. When she did the red table with Jada Pinkett, she was showing emotion and feelings when she was talking about her kids.
She wasn't showing nothing. That show was old. That wasn't a new taping. And not only that, she is going after gun violence. You didn't think about gun violence out of all the shootings you saw on Crenshaw and Slauson while you was there with Nipsey? Nipsey ain't the only person to die on Crenshaw and Slauson. And Nipsey is not the only person that died since him and Lauren was together.
Right.
I done covered every death that almost happened over there, and they all tied together, from DJ Official to David Gross's brother,
yes,
Sean Mack. All these people killed
I got a list of names. I got a list of names.
That whole area. So why ain't you fighting for gun violence then?
I got a list of names. Because remember, I told you, I looked it up, and I Googled it, and I'm sure there's some that I don't have. I Googled from the time David Gross's brother was shot and killed to the time Nipsey Hussle got shot and killed. There was like over 100 people that got shot and killed.
I think this person is named Alexis Higginson. She said Jada is a witch. It's so funny because I just got through watching some paperwork, actual paperwork I got about Hollywood people who drink this drink. It's called something chrome. I can't pronounce
adrenochrome.
I can't pronounce adrenochrome, and it's taken from
kids
children
that are scared and tortured.
I'm
telling you what it is. When your heart,
I don't even want to get sick thinking about it, but it's sickening.
Yeah.
And that these Hollywood stars actually drink that stuff.
Yeah, you go. They got an island, a whole island that they go to. Jay-Z and Beyonce has been over there.
Yeah, I don't know about the island, but I know they drink it.
Yeah, it's a whole island.
And we got to do something about that and talk about that. But you know what? All you see, really, out of all this stuff we're covering, is that we living better than those folk. Those folk are tortured, and they have to do so much demonology and stuff to keep what they got.
Yep.
That it ain't worth it. Most of us are blessed by the Lord, and we live a better life than they do. And whatever it is we got peace to go along with it, and they don't. And they have to keep doing devilish, demonic things, and we don't. And we can enjoy our twos and fews with peace and go to the malls. Some of us can shop at the same store they do, and we don't have to do any of that stuff. And that just shows you how fortunate and how blessed you really are.
Yes, and I thank the Most High every day for me waking up another day and never have to worry about none of what they go through, because they are truly tortured souls.
Exactly. But I like to kind of stay with the narrative, because if you don't, you'll find yourself going. With this case, you can go everywhere. But there's some key facts that I don't care who they sentence. All these questions got to be answered, or they still ain't over with.
Right.
Every single one of them got to be answered. Definitely, the DNA has to be answered. How much of that blood did you take off those cars? I want to know about it.
Right.
Because that would solidify a real shooting. And Chris Darden's argument that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, that they weren't sure whether or not it was Eric Holder. We got so many different pictures of this Eric Holder guy.
He
that's
looks
floating
different
around.
in every one.
Every single one of them. And it's not the lighting or anything from being picked up to in the police car. The tattoos are different. Did he get tattoos added in jail? Because some look different. I mean, these questions got to be answered. And I think that's why they threatened Chris Darden and got him off the trial, because he raised up, he know how they operate. He was a prosecutor there. He know the tricks of the trade. They wanted him off that trial, and he got off that trial. Okay, who paid Chris Darden's retainer fee?
Exactly.
That's
what I want to know.
$75,000. You got $75,000, you can pay your own retainer fee. Who also paid for a private jet to fly from Oakland to Los Angeles? Because Chris had a private jet. He didn't take regular airlines. He had a private jet that brought him from Oakland to Los Angeles twice before he got off the case. Who paid for it? These questions have to be answered. And what jury in their right mind hasn't heard about this case? They listen to us.
Yeah.
I know they do. They got it's in everybody's mind. Why is there such a lack of blood? Ain't nobody forgot about that.
Now, how are they even going to find a jury to even hear this case? Because everybody has heard this case. Because this case is such widespread that how can nobody not hear anything?
I don't think it's going to happen. I found out something else that most people don't know about California and its high-profile cases like this.
Right.
And I revealed it on your show. I can't put the picture up because this is, of course, not my platform. So,
okay.
But nevertheless, when California has high-profile cases like this, and this also includes Tookie, this also includes Snoop Dogg, when he was incarcerated. This also included another high-profile case. They didn't even keep them in California. They kept them in a jail in a whole different place back east. And
now,
I happen to know one of the prison guards that worked there, and I don't believe they keep Eric Holder in jail. I believe they fly him out to California when it's absolutely necessary.
Right. Now, I have a question, and I have also thought this, since it's a private jet to fly him in and out, do you think it could be the Puma jet that's flying him in and out?
No, Puma would have nothing to do with that, I don't believe. So who flying, Chris or flying Eric Holder? Who?
Chris Darden.
No, I believe it's a Rock Nation jet. That's my belief. That's what I believe allegedly. That's what I believe. I believe it's LAPD.
With a helicopter, possibly. Now, I can believe who do you think is flying Eric Holder then, if he's not in the jail in California?
The FBI, the marshals. The marshals have airplanes.
Right.
And high-profile cases like this, where a whole state would kill an individual, they keep their
in another state, keep them in jail.
Right. They had Tookie up here. They had several other people up here. I actually know one of the guards that. So therefore, I got a picture of it. And in this place, they're not handcuffed or anything. They have plush seats and everything. And it's a place back east. And then when it's time for this, absolutely time for them to actually go to trial, then they fly these people into Los Angeles the day of the trial.
Now,
or the day before the trial.
This is another thing. Remember all the other times that he was supposed to go to trial, but he was never actually there.
Not necessary, because it's just preliminary hearings, what paperwork is going to exchange, what a public defender does, and people don't understand. The public defender works for the state, so they're never working for you.
Right.
They're always working for you to cop a plea.
Yeah.
Because that's what their job is. Their job is not to try and get you off; it's to get you to cop a plea. And they go sit in the same office with the state's attorney because they're paid by the state. So the public defender, Eric Holder, is probably resisting everything that Miss Llewellyn is saying. No, I want to go to trial. I'm going to tell. and she's probably having a hell of a time. Saying, "No, dude, you're gonna get this amount of time." He said, "I don't care. I'm gonna tell. If I go down, I'm taking everybody down with me."
Right.
So that's why we see these two hospitals where he's been, and they try to say he tried to kill himself.
Right.
Me, I'm believing they trying to kill him. They probably hope he get the coronavirus, and I just have a hard time believing that they're gonna let him go to trial, that they're gonna kill him point blank. They don't think nobody cares, right? Everybody hate him because they think he killed Nipsey. So people would be like, "I'm glad that he dead." I won't be, because I won't know the truth.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. I think they want to try to kill him before they let the truth come out.
Exactly. And that's why they keep pushing it back. So let's see. Everybody's going to fly out. Everybody's going to be out there July the 6th at 8:30 in the morning is when this trial is going to be. Yours truly, I'll be there. And we'll see again whether or not the judge has all the paperwork, Judge Perry, and hopefully we'll have a nice trial, and we can hear Eric Holder say that he got guns, allegedly, from the LAPD or whatever it may be. They're going to take that chance, and once he says it, all hell is going to break loose. This is what I believe they're doing now. Like I said last night, they are gathering all of the tanks and all the armored vehicles they can, just in case this guy gets on the stand and tells that he was paid by the LAPD. It's going to be hell in California if the LAPD did that. And take a look, Eric Garcetti. I'm defunding the police department.
Right.
Wait, people don't understand jokes. I'm taking all the money back from the police and I'm putting it into the black community. This is a joke.
Man.
Oh, and look, they keep also, we're going to send you another stimulus check.
Right.
Everybody's sitting there waiting for another stimulus check instead of getting out trying to get registered to vote to get this sucker out of office.
Out, yeah. And I think a cockroach will have a better chance of running the White House than what the president, I ain't even gonna call him the president, the orange man.
But see, people taking a chance, and we're not rallying together to get rid of this guy. You don't want this guy in office for more years, and people taking a chance and not doing what they need to do. He can sneak in office because they're all trying to scare people with coronavirus. They're trying to scare you not to vote. You got Dr. Bouter on here on YouTube. Dr. Bouter has already proven to you that they lied. He's exposed. He had doctors around the country exposed that the coronavirus is just a basic flu. And they turned around and took the murder victims. They took the people who died from cancer, the people who died from heart trouble, and gave a new medical death certificate for all doctors and hospitals and even funeral homes. I know because we had an issue with one of my family members who didn't have no COVID-19, and they would say, "Well, we're gonna still have to say it." We said, "Why you have to?" No, we're not gonna go get lawyers and everything, and they had to back down after a fight because we wasn't going. He didn't die from no COVID-19. I know 3 people who were ran over by a truck. The week that Georgia opened up, they left Illinois and went down to Kentucky. I talked to one of the relatives. They were ran over by an 18-wheel truck and killed. Okay, they were killed by an 18-wheel truck. And when the family got ready to bury them, it said they died from COVID-19. This is true. This is sad. So everybody who died, be it they shot, be it they had cancer, be it they had leukemia, all of those deaths, they label COVID-19 to try and scare the heck out of you.
And you know what? I have a cousin that lives in Chicago. She lives in just right outside of Chicago in Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah,
I just found out that she had the COVID-19, and they say that she was really, really sick, and she has health conditions. She's older than me. She's Margaret has to be about at least 63. And they said she was really, really sick, but she got over it.
People didn't even catch it. They were trying to say that George Floyd wouldn't have died had he not had COVID-19. But George Floyd, he had COVID-19 that contributed to his death. That's why them people went crazy in Minnesota. That was a lie. We saw 8 minutes, 46 seconds of a man's knee on a man's neck.
Yeah.
Gives a
And
damn about no COVID-19. It's the same thing as every other flu.
yeah. But he was saying he couldn't breathe. And that man, I literally seen a smirk on his face, and I seen him adjust his knees, like almost like you grinding your knee into his neck to push and adjust his weight to go on that knee that was on his neck. I saw that.
This is why you want to decide whether or not you're going to take that bullshit. You know, these cops are cowards. So therefore, if they're allowed to turn you around backwards, if they handcuff you, they got you. That's why Rashard Brooks didn't go for it. Rashard Brooks died like a man.
Yeah.
He died like a man. I have more respect for Rashard Brooks than I do anybody. You don't need 3 cops to make an arrest. The boy was talking calm. He was cooperating. 3 white cops. I didn't even know they had white cops in Georgia. That was a first for me. Pull up on it. And then, this is the other thing they don't want to show you. You got ignorant people, man. They didn't even show how they were jumping on the boy's back while he was dead, all right?
Yeah.
It took the Atlanta to show you all. The Wendy's released the whole footage. The guy is dead, and the one cop got his knee on his neck while he's dead, and the other one kicked him and was jumping on top of him while he was already dead.
Now, see, I talked to my niece. My niece lives right down there in Atlanta. I just had her on the live. She said she was right there by the Wendy's, and she seen the police cars. She heard the shots, and I was talking to her on the phone. So that's what I'm saying. When I'm seeing it live, I'm actually seeing and hearing things. But I didn't know what it was, and I'm like, what the hell is that? What's going on? I heard a bunch of yelling, and then I heard pow, 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 pow. And I'm like, girl, get down. What the hell is going on? She said, Auntie, this the police. They just shot this man at the window. I said, well, you better get the hell on away from there. She said, Auntie, I got to show this. What the hell is you trying to show? If them people is over there shooting, get the hell away from there.
Well, you know, it was weird, you know, like, I don't know why we don't do a lot more. There's no way, and I can tell you about me, I don't know about nobody else. There's no way I would have been standing there and that cop would have been on George Floyd's neck. Not me. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
Like, there was people standing there watching that cop. No, it would have been all out, and we would have definitely went all out.
Now, I'm going to tell you about that, what they was not showing. And I know this for firsthand. That Asian guy,
I would have knocked the hell out of that Asian guy. And, you know, we both had guns. I'm an expert shot, so it's just been shot for shot. Mine is bullet. It goes right.
But what you did not see.
I'm sorry. You gotta start thinking now. We gotta start going out in packs, and we gotta be ready for anything.
Now, what you don't see is there's also 2 other police officers that are kneeled down on the other side of the car, where you can see the officer with his knee on his neck and his back. Yeah. There was 2 on the side of that car.
Acting like they're the ambulance. No ambulance came.
No.
Those are police officers.
Yeah. But like I said, there was 2 other police cars kneeled down, so you could not see them. But there is another angle. I don't know if they got it out, but I got that shot because I'm right here in Minnesota. I talked to a lot of people. I've seen a lot of pictures. I've seen pictures in people's phones. It was 2 other police officers kneeling down. They were on his legs, holding him down. And that one Asian guy was standing in front, keeping the police away. Huh?
Trying to block the cameras.
Yeah, and they were holding him so that he couldn't get up.
You probably know what this is. Where is that lake up there where they kill black people at?
Which one? It's a couple of them. There's Lake of the Isles.
One there where, I don't know where it's at, but they've been killing black people up there for years.
The Mississippi River, because they tried to say that my nephew committed suicide a couple of years ago. I want to say it's like, my nephew died, I want to say it's about 10 years ago. He got into a shootout over in the east side of St. Paul. They tried to say he committed suicide, but this is the thing. His clothes were off, neatly folded in a pile and put on the side, but they found his body floating in the water. Now, if somebody's want to commit suicide, What makes you think they're going to just take the time to take their clothes and fold them neatly and leave them in a pile right there? You want to commit suicide, your mind ain't thinking on saving your clothes. You just want to do yourself and get it done and over with.
Exactly.
But somebody killed my nephew and did that, folded his clothes and put them in a neat pile. They do that at the Mississippi River. It's one called Lake of the Isles. They have found bodies in Minnetonka. They have found bodies in Chisago Lake. Lake Lindstrom. We have 10,000 lakes here, and I can pretty much guarantee out of 10,000 lakes, probably about a good 1,000 of those lakes they have found black people in.
So I said all that because this ain't just now been occurring.
No.
And that cop didn't believe nothing was going to happen to him.
No.
Because they've been doing that for a long time.
A long time.
And those cops in Atlanta, they didn't believe nothing was going to happen to them either. And now you see it even around the country, they still haven't stopped.
It's come to a breaking point in some places because it has been going on, and just like that Somalian officer killed the white lady, they arrested him immediately. They arrested him immediately.
Oh, put him in jail too.
Yeah, that's what I said. They got him and arrested him immediately. I think it was within 24 hours that they got him.
Yeah, and that's why the Somalians have taken over Rochester.
Oh, they're not only taking over Rochester, they've pretty much taken over Faribault too.
Wow.
They have in South Minneapolis, they have what they call Somali Village right there on Lake Street in Blaisdell. They have taken over that whole area. They were once townhouses, condos there, that they built up on Nicollet and Lake and on Blaisdell, and it's like little projects there. It's full of them. Over on 27th, right off of 28th and between 28th, 29th. I'll say 27th, 28th, 29th. Right over in there, right off of Bloomington, they have took over that area. They have got a big warehouse they turned into a Somali mall. Nobody else can go in there and put them all. They really don't want you in there shopping in their stores.
Unreal.
What was Lake Street right there off of right there Chicago, where it used to be the old Sears building, they now call it International Market Square. They have majority of that is owned by Somalians, and if you come in there, they'll close up their doors and shut the gates and don't want to let you in to buy nothing.
Wow.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yep. If you're not African or speak with an African dialect, nothing towards anyone of that of African descent in my chat here, my platform. I have nothing against anybody, but this is what they do, and they're here in this country, and they treat us like we're foreigners. That's why I say the African Americans here, the black people here, we're treated with indifference by everybody else, and we've been here, but everybody else that's coming here from foreign places, they come and act like they've been here all their life, and they feel that they can treat us any kind of way because of white America gives them that power, and they kiss their butts.
They agree with white America in order to get those loans and stuff that they need to go into businesses. And so
they were told to treat us that way, that we're nothing.
If white America don't like you, then they don't either, and they keep getting loans and stuff that they won't give you.
Yep. They come here, they pay no taxes, they get new cars, they get houses, they don't do anything for years. But the ones that are here, we have such a hard time, and then they want to, I understand the Jewish went through Holocaust, but what have the black people went through? We went through slavery, and we're still there. Why don't we get reparations? Native Americans get the casinos that generates them money, but what do we
But
get?
You know what? What I want to say about them is they've spent a lot of time trying to help us, so I'm not going to. They do, but they fought, and they even they lost a lot of people bad enough, but
Yeah.
they've really tried to help us a whole lot.
Yeah.
But once again, our leaders won't listen to them. They've tried to help us
Yeah.
with reparations. And again, black leaders who hold these titles are only fooling you, but they're working for the enemy.
Now, I just put up a on my post yesterday where the $1,200 with the stimulus, that means absolutely nothing to any of us of color, because we've already been worth $1,200, $1,250 already. For when they had us in slavery, they were paying $1,200 to $1,250 per slave anyway.
The only thing the $1,200 came out should have did was to show us that it's that easy for them to pay $10,000 per African American for reparations. Now they know how to do it.
And that's really no money. My life is more than that. Just think of all the years through the generations.
But well, you're talking about the system, though, of slavery versus the actual slave, which was our parents.
Yeah.
So I think a fair number, when you look at the amount of African American people there are, $10,000 per African American, and erase the word terrorism away from African Americans and 100% American citizenship and no more voting on it, then slavery is demolished. But stars coming out talking about Juneteenth Day, they can go fly a kite.
Yeah.
But we have another holiday, Juneteenth Day, or whatever the hell that is. What for? Because we got false information? To me, it's a celebration that we'll believe anything.
But how about this one, though? They have us believing in a Bible and what's in a Bible when the Bible isn't even really the Bible that was originally supposed to be.
I want to agree with you there. I believe in the Bible.
No, I'm not saying that I don't believe in the Bible, but the Bible has been changed and twisted around to fit them and not.
The Bible ain't been changed. I got a double doctorate degree from Oral Roberts University, Dallas Theological Seminary. No, the Bible is the Word of God. Now, there's been variations of it. Just make sure you choose the right one.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
they
it
have
ain't did
twisted
anything
and
to me
changed
at all whatsoever.
things in it so
I
much.
don't get into religion with people and stuff of that nature. You believe what you want to believe.
No, I'm not trying to get into
religion
because that's a touchy subject with everybody. But they have changed everything for. I'm saying they have changed everything for the black people, period, throughout the years, that it's hard to say what to believe anymore because they've stripped us from pretty much of everything. They're pretty much trying to take our whole complete identity.
You got papers all over the world that it has the true history of everything. They can't. That's part of the reason why they have to come to the grips that they have to accept what it is that they did, because they can't escape it. They cannot escape it. As Malcolm said, the chickens are coming home to roost, and so they got to deal with it. But just talking about it is not good enough. You're gonna have to pay for it and give justice by black people.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it from us because they're not really teaching it to us. A lot of it that we know is being handed down through generation. But going through school, they don't teach you everything that you need to know, that you should know. Like, they don't really teach you what Juneteenth means, the original true meaning of it. They just tell you it's a celebration of this, but you don't know what the people had to go through.
First of all, Juneteenth ain't got nothing to do with America. A lot of people don't understand that Texas is the only volunteer state that joined America. Texas was its own country, and Texas governor used to be the president of Texas, all right? So Texas voluntarily joined the United States and recently put in to separate itself from the United States. And a ship pulled up and told some slaves they were free, only for them to find themselves still in slavery in Texas. It had nothing to do with the United States of America. It had to do only with Texas, all right? Now, some of the worst prison sentences in the entire world
In Texas.
has been given to black people in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Harris County in Houston is the worst place in the world for any black to go, even if they didn't commit a crime. 95% of all crimes in Texas are committed by white people, and over 95% of everybody in prison is black in Texas.
Yeah. You know, I had a bad taste for Texas, and that's a very bad taste in my mouth. When I went there, I was a teenager. I played basketball for a traveling basketball team. We were there. It was 3 of us that were black, and we stayed with a white family. And the girls were my age, the sisters. I'll never forget their name. Their name was Gay and Aloma. I don't remember the last name. But we stayed at their house. We were at the basketball court, which is at the end of the block. A truck of some white guys that had a Confederate flag in their truck came and chased us and were yelling, "Get those niggers, get those little nigger bitches." And the girls, they were grabbing us and running, and we did not know where we were. You know, we just took off running to try to seek refuge, and we were running in the right direction, but they grabbed us like, "Come on, let's go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go home, we gotta go home." So we ran back to their house, and she told her dad, and her dad said something to the mother, and they knew right away. Everybody was strapped up. The 2 girls had guns. The daddy had a gun, and he had a shotgun across his lap at the front door. The mama was at the back door with a shotgun at her lap and her pistols. One daughter was in the window, and the other girl in another window, and the other brother was in another window. They had their house surrounded with watching out the windows. So evidently they knew something that we did not know. But like I said, we were only like 14, 15 years old. But we got in contact with our basketball coach and told them what was going on, and I called my mama. My mama said, got on there and told that woman, "You get my child home and you get the rest of them kids home right now. If I got to pay for a flight for my child to get home, you get her home now." And she got on the phone and called a couple of the other girls' mothers and told them what was going on. Before we could even leave and get our stuff packed up, my mother and a couple of the women had them plane tickets booked and was on their way to Texas, and they had people flying into Texas a couple of people were there at that house. We had to stay there overnight and was going to leave in the morning, but by the time we woke up that morning, it was about 50 people outside with guns sitting in the yard to get us out of there.
Here, Damian Morgan, he's reminded me that you have to spend 85% of your time in prison or in jail in Texas. And that's true, 85%. And majority of the people in there are black. And a lot of them are in low-level crimes, too, which don't even require prison in no other state. It's because a huge part of Texas's budget depends on people going to jail. Mm-hmm. So you can steal a candy bar, a pack of M&Ms, and wind up with 2 to 3 years in prison because they get paid to put you in prison.
Yeah. You're worth more money to them in jail than being out free.
Yeah, they're one of the very few states where they get literal paid. And this is what a man told me when I used to live in London. He was saying that America gets paid to put people in prison, and they have more people in prison than some nations have in existence, period. Mm-hmm. And they get paid. And most of the people in prison, they're not violent offenders. They're low-level offenders who shouldn't even be in jail and should have been out a long time ago. But as long as they can make money off them, they're going to try and keep them in prison, period.
That's just like in California. My nephew got sentenced in California into jail. He went to jail when he was 15. They sentenced him when he was 16 and charged him as an adult for a crime that he didn't even do. They said that he robbed and raped a white woman. But it wasn't him. When the woman gave a description, she gave a description that didn't even fit my nephew. But he has been in jail for 20-something years now.
I was thinking about the young gentleman when Amber Geiger killed Botham Jean. What's his name? Joshua. Is it Joshua Brown? Somebody y'all help us. And they want to say he was killed over some weed. Weed is legal in Louisiana. These cats came in from Louisiana. Weed is legal. Weed is legal everywhere. Why would they kill a guy over some weed?
It's not legal here yet. It's not legal, and they're saying they don't.
Well, yes, it is. Medicinal weed in Minnesota is legal, and it's being used by the Mayo Clinic. So it's on the books to be legal there. So they're not. In fact, I know some guys who were coming back. They were smoking weed to play after playing the Chicago Bears last year, and the police pulled them over, and they only got a warning ticket because weed is legal in Minnesota.
Well, you have to get a medical license to get medical marijuana. I checked into it because I have glaucoma. To get a medical,
doctor, he give you a piece of paper and you go get it.
You have to pay $250.
It's usually about $65. Minnesota wants a lot of money, and that's why they're doing it, because people would pay a lot of money. Illinois, when they made weed legal, is almost out of debt because of the amount of weed that people are buying.
Yep.
They're about to get their first surplus because of the amount of weed that people are buying.
Yeah. And see, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't like to do anything. I don't even like to take pills. But when they said that it could possibly help my glaucoma, and the doctor was telling me, "Oh, give me $250 and I'll give you the medical license," I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be running around here high as hell, eating up everything. I'm trying to get the little bit of weight off that I put on since this pandemic came on.
Well, actually, you lose weight smoking weed.
Well, I still don't want to smoke it. I don't like the way that. I don't like nothing that's going to take control of me.
I don't particularly do it, but I don't judge people for what they want to do.
I don't judge nobody for what they do. That's them. But I know me.
I'm just saying, I don't want them to mess with my cigars. They can have their weed. Just leave.
I don't want to smoke. I don't want to drink. I don't want to snort nothing. I don't want to pop no pills. I don't want nothing to get me out of character more than what I do when I get an attitude. My attitude get me out of character enough. I don't need no more trouble because I know my mouth can get me in trouble.
So, Damien, the D Squad here, Marathon Continue, says they got their weed card too. They got their license when they were in Cali. So this is what I want to know. Does your card from one state,
no,
D squared, does your card from one state work in all of the states? How does that work? You can
only, when you get your license, you can only be able to buy it in that state.
That's D squared. I don't know.
No, I asked about it.
Thing now.
I asked about it. At least here in Minnesota.
Yeah, you got somebody here talking about it already though on the platform.
Yeah, I know D squared.
Yeah. Does your weed card work in any other state? No. Okay, that's what I want to know. Damien Morrison, no. Yeah.
See, that's what I told you when they told me to get the medical card. I can only go
with it.
Now, if I'm in Minnesota, use my card. I can only buy it here.
I'm trying to get them involved with it. We can talk off the show. I want to hear from them because they know a lot. I want to know what. You'd be surprised what a few people in here know. They just not sharing. They got a lot of information.
Right.
You went
and that's
to the
why
weed
I tell them
store,
they don't tell me
and
nothing.
I use my license. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, legitimacy. If marijuana gonna be legal, they let people go. You should be able to use your weed card any state you go to.
Yeah.
But because it's still federally illegal, and they do that because they don't want you to come up. When you come up, they send the police in to take everything that you own, that you gain from selling it. It's a way to keep control.
See, that's why you got to get one of those medical cards for every state you go through. So if you buy, like say, if I leave Minnesota, I go to California, I would have to get a medical card to go through all of those states because I'm traveling through the air or driving through all these states. So I have to get a medical card through all these states for them not to mess with me and take it.
D squared say he don't have a real weed card. He uses Texas driver's license.
Wow. Well, that don't stop people from smoking it anyway. They still smoke it anyway.
But Texas keep it legal because it need that muscle in jail.
Yeah.
See, I tell people these movies, they be letting you know what's going to happen in the future. And I told people when Shawshank Redemption came out and they was working on that road, you're going to start seeing people go to jail. They privatized prisons, really hit to work on.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, I know here in Minnesota, when you in jail, they have what they call a reform crew. They have the crew go out and work on the side of the roads and clean up the highways.
Man, please, I think that one of the real riots should be in jail. They should riot and get the hell out of there. Because most of our boys are locked up in jail.
Do you know they were having riots in jail when the coronavirus first came out and so many people died down there in Tennessee?
They had riots in jail when George Floyd died in South Carolina and several other penitentiaries.
Yeah.
Whole state would lock penitentiaries down, and they beat one guard pretty bad.
Oh, Damien said I'm a dispensary owner. I have two. Have mine.
Okay, word, Damien. That's cool. That's what I'm saying. But I think, like, it should be where you're allowed to go anywhere. Because if you're going to prove by a doctor, it's just like any other person who takes medication. You should be able to get your medicine in any state that you go in.
All right, Damien. With your you have a dispensary. Do you have to get a certain type of license where you can get it grow in any state, or is it just you have to apply for the state that you're in?
And also, did you get any Uncle Sam OG? And keep in mind, Black Sam got his own weed out there. So, Damien, you got to get some Uncle Sam OG up in there.
Yeah, Damien, get you some Uncle Sam OG.
Yeah, spread it out there. Uncle Sam OG is out there. Black Sam
he said him and his son. He said, my son and I own it. I can travel with it. So can you open up a grow store? Like, say if you ever come to Minnesota, can you open up a grow store in Minnesota and grow here? Do you have to have a certain license here to grow?
And did you get any Uncle Sam OG?
Yeah, you getting the Uncle Sam OG? That's who you need to hit up and grow some of the Uncle Sam's OG. She's not saying. I'm sorry, he's not saying. There is a couple of recipes I have if you ever want them, Damien, for some edibles. D Square says she wants some Uncle Sam OG.
That's what I'm telling him now. You better get that Uncle Sam OG.
Oh, he said, yes, I have to get approved by Tyrant State. Okay.
Get approved then. Get approved.
Yeah, get approved. Let me know. Let me know about that, because I might become a grower here. What I got to do.
Look, I got people going out to California trying to find Uncle Sam OG. I'm like, hold up. That's one thing I don't understand. Like, why Black Sam ain't put some number out there for people like who really want to get a hold of his stuff so they can get it, regular, ordinary folk, by the hundreds.
Yeah, I know. Since you put it out there, his sales has went up.
Yeah, but more people, if they knew where, they just don't see. When you go to California, you just can't go certain places. People pull up on you, so they don't know where to go and get it at. So if I had the information, I would tell people you can go here and you can get it, because people, they come out there, they go over, they tour where the store used to be and stuff, but they don't know where to get Uncle Sam OG at.
I got you, D. D says she need the recipes.
Or the recipes.
Yeah, for
make some brownies.
Yeah, for brownies, cookies, cupcakes. They got some other kind of thing that you could put it in.
Real entrepreneur, yeah. Uncle Sam OG, they all want some Uncle Sam OG. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I can find out where you can get it from, well, I think he gave the Instagram. I don't know it now, but you have to go watch the video. on the Instagram, it's something on there. So I think you can hit it up on Instagram, and they'll tell you where to get the Uncle Sam OG. You got to support Uncle Sam because he got to look out for Imani, and we know he's gonna be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also,
London can look out the Cross. He gonna have to look out the Imani. You know what I'm saying?
right.
She got all the Rock Nation and all of Trapped in the South, T.I., and everybody look after her and run to her need.
Right.
She got all Nipsey boys now. So
what better person she got? She got her biggest supporter, Puffy.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So she got billionaires. He gonna be okay, but we worried about his money. Make sure she all right, so she don't have to be outside no more making phone calls.
You know what?
Online.
This is what I want to do. I would love to talk to Imani, because I want to make her. I make the Nipsey cubes. I want to make her a commemorative cube, a mirrored cube, with her and her daddy, and just as a keepsake for something for her, special for her.
You know what? I wouldn't want to talk to nobody but Granny.
I would love to talk to Granny.
If I did any interview, I would just want to interview Granny, and I would just want to just ask her one question: how is it when she was standing there and she told that reporter that, you know what, we just gotta pray for him. I hope he don't die. I never seen such love before. Yeah. That was the most powerful thing I ever seen.
And that touched my heart. That brought me to tears. That brought me to tears more than anything, because that shows her wisdom. That shows her compassion. That shows her forgiving heart.
And it showed Nipsey. It showed his soft side, where he got it from.
Yep. Because she was such a loving, beautiful person. I feel her energy. I feel her spirit. Granny is such a loving person.
That was the interview that went around the world when she said those words. That boy is just a situation, and I don't want him to die in jail. Pray for. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That
would be a hard thing for me to do. If I ever lost one of my grandkids or my great grandkids or my son. It would take a lot out of me to pray for the person that killed my child. And I call my grandkids my children, because they are mine. They are my kids. They're my babies. I would have a hard time dealing with that,
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But she did.
Yeah.
And so that would be probably the only interview I'd want to really interview. I just hope, and that's one of the things I really be careful about. Like, a lot of people make up things like that. People see this. I mean, you're gonna start going places, airports and stuff, and see that people recognize who you are.
Yeah. And I think I would be so flattered by that, but I would still remain humble, because I'll be like, wow, somebody knows me just from off of my YouTube channel. I think I'll probably bust out in tears.
They know you. I've been to the barbershop and watched several people from YouTube being played in my barbershop where I go to. I was cracking up. I was like, okay, they don't even know that these people, complete way across country,
right,
talking about their show, and their show has got a whole barbershop lit up.
Right.
It's amazing to me.
Wow. Infiltration said people. That I want to get Tanisha some Uncle Sam OG, and y'all talk to her. She got the tea, wine, and Kool-Aid.
I tried to interview Tanisha, and she would never give the go-ahead to be interviewed. But when she did do an interview, she put her foot in her own mouth. She decided to come out on her own. And, I talked to him 30 minutes before, how you like them apples. And I'm sorry, that is a recipe for a warrant or a subpoena to trial. Because what you heard over that phone and hearsay is allowed in court now. So the hearsay rule passed several years ago, and hearsay is allowed in court. What was the basis of your phone call? Did he have to rush off the phone? Who was with him? Where was he at? And I think she should be subpoenaed immediately to court. If she's not subpoenaed, this is a sham trial.
And she won't even give you the interview, will she?
Nope.
Somebody got to her and told her definitely don't talk. But I believe she...
It's too late. She already did. I got pieces of stuff she said that I ain't never released yet. It's too late.
But I thought that maybe she might have signed her rights to say anything about Nipsey.
But she did. That's what I'm told. She did. Signed her rights over and got a little house, a little swimming pool and a car and some other stuff. And she pretty much sold her soul away and her rights to her own child. That's why they didn't argue in court. It was all given away for the love of money.
But even though
now,
Samantha...
that was also a mistake on their part, because had they not did it and Tanisha kept her child, had guardianship, she could have cut her own Puma deal based upon her own child.
Yep.
See, she's allowed, Amani's allowed to talk about Nipsey and allowed to talk about Marathon. But I don't believe the family is allowed to do it, because the record companies, the industry claims these stars' images and stuff like that. I revealed how Tom Wally took Yasmin Fula, Yaki Gaddafi's mother, to court to put a gag on her mouth so she couldn't talk about her own son.
Wow.
She had to battle that out before she came out with her latest book, which is out now, called Spirit of an Outlaw. She had to take him on because he had to gag her from talking about a child she gave birth with. So that's how serious this industry is.
Now, I want to know this.
Because Amani is his daughter, she has a right to talk about. So she could do the child's Puma set and a lot of things, but I don't think they're going to do it with the family, but they could have did it with the mother working with the family.
Right. Now, I want to know this. But since the family has
guardianship, she's going to have to wait till she turns 18.
Do you know this? Who owns the Marathon totally? Who owns it?
It's always been owned by David Gross.
Okay. That's what I figured. He owns the land over there too, where the Marathon store sits.
That's what Million Hits proved to you. They went to the city council, to the police department. It never was owned by them. They probably had intentions on buying it, but it was owned by David Gross. He had no intention on selling it.
Now, didn't Lauren London own something in there, a part of it? She was a silent partner?
That's the question. How your woman going to be worth, you really trying to get something started. I'm not going to be on this thing 3 hours. How your woman going to be worth $8 million? You got a couple of million, but she won't give you one, so you can go ahead and buy that property.
Right.
That tells you that something's wrong right then and there. You got $8 million, according to net worth. You could have bought that property, period. You bought a $2 million house. You could have paid $2 million to buy the love of your life, the store, so you could complete his vision.
Right.
Because you were so into it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody showed me pictures of her house and the big party she had with her cast and crew. And I was thinking, man, she's saying $2 million she already had. She could have said, baby, I love you so much, I'm going to buy this store. But I guess you can't buy a store
that's already yours.
Already a part of a group that owns the store. That's the conflict of interest.
The confluent
when you're part of
group.
the confluent group, you cannot go and buy a store
that's already yours.
And he didn't see that. He didn't understand that, I'm sure.
Now, you know, part of that gate was opened up and people were trying to get in there and barbecue, and they called the police, and police was over there. This was back when the riots and stuff was going on. The police was over there spraying people with mace and jumping on folks over there.
All right, what riots you talking about? These recent riots?
Yeah, just recently.
So they went to barbecue during a riot?
They wanted to barbecue on that lot. The gates was open.
I would love to saw that. Who got that video up? I want to see that.
Google it. That's how I found it. Because I Googled what's going on with the marathon, and they were showing it that Google the riots and the marathon. They were showing the police right there spraying people with mace.
So you go right in the middle of a store and barbecue in the middle of a riot.
Yeah, they were going on the parking lot. The gate was open.
That's so funny. I'm sorry. I had to laugh. You said They want to riot. These cats don't go in there and barbecue.
They were protesting,
Okay.
and that's the whole thing. They were trying to do a peaceful protest, and they were going to go over there and barbecue and give hot dogs, hamburgers, or whatever to the people that were protesting. And somebody called the police on them, and they were out there spraying mace and wanting to fight and jump on the people. Juice Rock, are you still in here? Because Juice lives in California. He might know about this. Do I have anybody in my platform right now that is in California? Can you verify and vouch that for me?
And find that video so I can crack up. I need to laugh tonight. They want to barbecue. Hey man, y'all gonna ride, but we going to marathon and we gonna have this barbecue.
Now, what's going on? I've been trying to reach out to A Million Hits to talk to him or get an interview with my brother, and he's not responding to anything. Have you heard anything on what's going on with him?
I ain't heard nothing. Some of his videos are spaced, so far in between. He usually try to upload something, once a week, but it ain't been like that, so I don't really know. I got to check and see what's going on, too, because I like what he do.
Yeah.
But, in California, when you live in there, it's a little difficult putting out information because, some people feel like it's borderline snitching and stuff like that.
Yeah. And especially the times of the night that he's out in early morning hours, because he could just be out there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then turn right around. Here's a call, 7 o'clock in the morning. He's right there on it. Just like when the coronavirus first came on, he was on it 24/7. And then all of a sudden now...
Ship.
Huh?
He was at that Mercy. He was at that ship that pulled up out there immediately.
Yes. And now all of a sudden, I don't see him. I haven't seen anything from him lately.
Y'all put the word out. 1 million hits where you at. Yell at your people.
Keita said he hasn't put out anything since that lady got... What lady was it that got shot, Keita? He said he hasn't put out anything since the lady got shot.
Yeah. That's the one on the bus, right? Am I right? The lady on the bus? Or at the bus stop, Keita?
She hasn't responded yet.
I think she's talking about a lady that was on a bus stop or something.
Wow.
Got shot.
Yeah, it's just,
Those cats get mad when you put that stuff out there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But he's well known in the California area for putting out stuff.
For him to be out there, though, they consider it snitching still.
Yeah.
That's why when he told you, and he was at the courthouse when I was there, he said, look, I'm going to put the names up, and the names that Eric Holder said. And he said, I'm going to put that video up the next day. All right, it's been 2 months, and that video ain't never went up one time. Wow.
Okay, she said some lady in the car in the intersection. Infiltration said, allegedly, why do you think Sam bought Tanisha the house, the car, and paid her child support? They needed her more than they did Lauren London. Tanisha held the keys to his estate.
They realized they made a mistake, because if Tanisha was in custody of her daughter, Tanisha could cut a deal with Puma, she could cut a deal with Nike on behalf of her child,
right,
the way Lauren had with Puma. And she looks just as good, as far as I'm concerned, if not better than Lauren. So she didn't even look better in that in one of those women's outfits that Lauren had designed. So in order to put a stop to that, you force the family to take custody of Tanisha's child. And the reason why I say that is that kid has been with Tanisha since they got custody.
Yeah.
What's the use of going and get custody then? Because they were listening to the wrong people, and now found out that the wrong people gave them the wrong advice, and now Aunty cannot do anything because she's with the family until she turned 18. Then she can act on her own, or maybe when she turns 17, she can start making moves on her own.
Yeah.
But it won't be with them, because I don't think that they have a right to Nipsey, to right to Marathon. You know the Uncle Sam OG is Marathon OG.
Right.
But he can't call it Marathon OG because that'll put him in direct a fight with probably Rock Nation or Atlantic, whoever owns all of that stuff. They own all the rights to Nipsey, his image, and everything. And this
Now,
happens to every artist, who dies with these record companies. Going back to Otis Redding, Sammy Davis Jr. It's the same thing. Somebody who wasn't even part of them owns their name, their image, and everything.
now I have a question. Once Imani turns 18, can she then open up something?
She can use
and
Marathon. She can use anything concerning her father. She can cut a deal with Puma, Nike, and do the same thing Lauren's doing to take care of her son and make sure he live a good life.
Now,
but
can she do something turn it into the OG Kush and the Marathon Kush and all of that?
I'm hoping she practicing her rapping skills. We did see her on stage with her father. That memory is ever etched in our minds.
Yeah.
She's in Africa, I think, rapping with her father.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she's practicing her skills and she's gonna come out and present herself in a whole different way. I hope that they have trademarked, watermarked, and everything they possibly could, her name, any and every way, with the E, with the I, to make sure that none of those people infringe upon her rights. Because you can bet as she gets older, they're going to try and infringe upon her rights some kind of way as well, too.
Because I see a lot of videos of her dancing. I see a lot of that, like how Nipsey used to dance a lot when he was younger. I see a lot of her videos dancing, just a smiling. She's just as pretty as she want to be. And I pray for this baby every night that a lot of the things that she don't see to kind of mess with her as she grows older, of missing her father, because her father was there all of her life. And
that's
he
why
done
I think
everything
the people
for her.
who were idiots, they were damn fools who came on here trying to say Nipsey Hussle wasn't dead, that he was in another country, not recognizing that little child watches us, and you could cause her to run away from home thinking that her
father's over there in
another
China.
country. I think those are the most disrespectful people in the entire world. That little girl has a phone. She got friends with a phone, and they're going to be telling her, these people said your father is in this country, and I don't want her to get no stupid, bad, lying information like that and run away from home trying to be with her father. That's why you got to be careful and make sure there were some people who put that lie out like that and not recognize that kid, you can't escape YouTube. People see this. They watch this.
Well, I just want to say this
Go
much.
back and report what you say.
I just want to say this much, just in case she ever watches Auntie B's house. Imani, we love you. We're praying for you. I don't want to talk to you about anything, your father or anything. If you can get in contact with me, I want to make you a commemorative cube for you and your daddy with you guys' picture on it. I will ship it to you. I will make it free of charge. I just want to do that for you to show you love. That's all I want to say about that. So, yeah, but it's a terrible thing that people want to put out such evil stuff.
Yeah, you got to be always conscious, because it's not like we don't hear from these people or people close to them. You start saying, okay, so-and-so is over here hiding.
Yeah.
You make a person, go and think that a person somewhere they ain't, and they could leave home, and you don't want to do that and put out false information. And that's why I appreciate that we read documents, have documents, and deal with facts and not with stuff, because people watch this. People see this. I mean, it's amazing to me how many people watch and see this. You may not think so, but they do.
Lakita said that she's a minor, I would have to contact Tanisha. I don't necessarily have to contact Tanisha just to ask her what picture she would like on a cube.
No, you wouldn't have to contact Tanisha. You would have to contact Miss Angelique Smith.
Yeah.
Nipsey's mother is the only guardian. Nipsey's mother is the guardian.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Even with contacting her, if she had her grandmother to get in contact with me and say it's okay to tell me that, okay, I can put this picture and that on there.
Just show what it is you want to send them.
Right.
And I'll find an address you can send it to.
Okay. But I want to put a picture on there, that something that she would like, because the cubes I make, are custom made to a person's specifications of what they want. If she says she want a picture of her and a picture of her dad, if she doesn't mind what picture I put, I will put a picture of her on one side, a picture of him, or I can do a picture of them through different stages of her life all around this cube. But it's just something that I want to her to commemorate of her and her dad.
Wow, that's so nice.
And I will pay for the shipping. I will pay for the pictures. I will pay for all the material. This is something that I just want to do from my heart to hers. Because I know what it's like as a child that young to lose your father. I didn't lose my father to a gun violence or nobody murdering my father. My father passed away when I was young. So that kind of devastated me. And I know what it's like. So for somebody to do a kind gesture like that, if somebody was to come to me and say, hey, I want to do this for you to commemorate your father, I'll cry at the drop of a dime on anything like that, but that would really touch my heart. And I would never bother her or anything.
You should have Alexis on this show one day.
I had her on here before. I want to bring her on again.
I'm talking about with me.
Okay, I can do that.
She cracks me up, but nevertheless, she did the one time we all talked. I thought she was so funny. I didn't know she could be that funny.
Yeah, she is hilarious. That's
so
a lot
funny.
of things that people don't know about Alexis. She gets straight to the point, and she talks, and
that's
she's
what I want
blunt
people to
with
see.
it.
I want people to see the side that I saw was so funny.
Yeah.
She was so hilarious that I had to
is.
use the phone 2 or 3 times. I was cracking up.
Yeah, she's
and
very
it just
hilarious.
flows. It just comes out of her mouth. And just, I don't even think she knows what she's saying. But it's just so funny.
Because she's so down to earth with it. But when she gets on the platform and she talks, she's just very straightforward and blunt. But
no, I know how to decide that. But I just want people to see how funny she can be when she says certain things.
Yeah.
And they would really enjoy it. And we can, I put out on my page that we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And let people know. That's what I was telling you about tonight. You know, like some of my people, they don't even know I'm over here. If they knew I was over here, you'd have 30,000 people over here, but they don't even know I'm here because you didn't give them a chance to tell them. So the next time we do this, let me let them know that, look, I'm gonna be over on TV's page and they will come.
Yeah. Well, we can
Somebody
set
gonna
it
see
up
this
one
and
day.
get mad. Why you didn't tell me? I'm gonna say, look, she didn't give me a chance to tell nobody. I'm gonna have to answer the people. My people talk to me. They're gonna say, you had that long interview and didn't tell me that. I'm gonna say, I didn't know. She called me at the last second because they want to know. They want to come. They want to come and they want to support.
Yeah. Infiltration said Tanisha actually came through in the clutch for his family. She is a day one. They knew Nip wanted Tanisha to be straight, so Black Sam did what his brother would have wanted.
And Nipsey was in love with that woman still. He was caught in a decision. You know, your heart is in one place, but I believe that Tanisha agreed a long time ago to put herself on the back burner to let a man go for his dream. And in the process, you meet this woman who come with toys and tricks and treats. She brings Puffy, Jay-Z, and big names in the music industry. And you rubbing shoulders with these guys, and you rubbing shoulders with these guys because of her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a given. Grammy brunches and things of that nature. But your body is there, but your heart and mind is somewhere else.
Right. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, so there's no need to be calling nobody stupid because they have their opinion. Nobody is stupid. It's just you have a different mindset and different thought than somebody else. That doesn't necessarily mean you stupid. So please, you guys, don't do the name calling. I won't tolerate no disrespect of each other. Don't do that. That's not cool. We're here to lift each other up, not tear each other down with that bullshit. Excuse my language, but we're not going to do that. Keita said, remember when Tanisha was going through custody and she said that she will always have Black Sam's back.
Exactly. These people
Yeah.
have been around each other for a long time.
A
Like
long
she said,
time.
16
A long time.
years she was dating Nipsey Hussle, and that's a fact. I'll give it a
Right.
fact. 16 years. You spent 16 years. At one time, Samantha considered her sister.
Yeah.
You can see pictures of them at the Eritrean school. So with Nipsey's father.
Yeah.
So this was a family at one time. They felt the same way about her as they did Lauren, except Lauren is Hollywood. That brings about a change.
Yeah.
Oh, she did ATL. I can't think of anything else she did that I ever saw, but I'm just saying legitimately.
The games people
ATL
play, that TV series.
I never saw it.
I never saw it either.
I took clips of it from something, but I watched ATL. I loved ATL. I thought it was a funny movie. The twins were extremely funny. Their mom, that movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that was about it. After ATL, the only thing I know is she was dating Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne was scheduled to marry somebody else. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything in between that. Next time I see her again, she is with Nipsey, who's trying to fix things with his baby's mom. He's separated. There's a lot in there that I won't go into because it does nothing for Nipsey. I can explain this whole thing to people, but you have to bring in things that are not convenient to make people understand what really went down. There is a lot in that mix. This is why I didn't understand, and I got the whole Breakfast Club interview, why Charlemagne would ask a guy who should supposed to be talking about his music and movies and stuff, why would you ask him, would you bone Lauren London? What kind of damn question is that?
That's because that was what he would do.
In the initial interview, this is like, who is Lauren London? They have to remind him who she was.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, she still looked the same. And the next week, she shows up at his store.
That's because
that's not even ladylike.
Yeah.
I don't care who don't like it.
That's because all along that when he said that, would you bone Lauren London? That's because somebody knew he was coming in there to do that show, and Lauren London, that was going to be a way of setting her up with him. And he didn't even know who she was. He was like, who is that? And what they had to do was tell him, oh, that's Nunu from ATL. And that's how he finally figured out who she was.
I would ask him, is it true what happened with that girl in South Carolina? Did you really do that? And why does Puffy got you on revoke? That's what I would like to know.
Wait a minute. What you talking about?
You don't know what happened with him?
With who? Charlemagne?
Charlemagne, yeah.
No, what happened?
She was accusing him of. Oh, we'll talk about that. That had to be a whole nother show.
Ooh.
I'd ask him about that. Let's talk about that girl who was saying that you did this and you did a good job of cleaning up this record with her. And why is it with that kind of alleged allegations against you, why do Puffy still have you on revolt? Here's a question I want to ask you. Why is it bad for R. Kelly to be accused? He ain't even been found guilty. And people are treating him like he did it, knowing that people are lying, all right, of sexual assault. But it's okay for other people to commit sexual assault and have paperwork that they did.
Hey!
And it's okay for them. I don't understand that.
Come on now. You know, it was just a white man that's the brother of somebody that's on the TV show. He just raped three women. And he just got off.
He got off?
Yes, he got off. He's out. Ain't nothing else to be said about it.
Are you saying they had DNA evidence?
They got proof he was charged and went to jail. And next thing you know, the brother done paid some money, some couple of $1 million, and that boy out of jail off.
Oh, my God.
R. Kelly is the wrong color. R. Kelly was making, what they say, he was dropping panties. He was making the women drop panties.
I heard
they was dropping
that he made
straight
some people mad
draws.
I heard that he made some people mad at Rat Nation, and when he came out and said he was gonna fight for his music and his rights back, he in that song, that 19-minute song called "I Did It," and he was saying what he was gonna do. If you notice, about a week after that, he came out with that 19-minute long song. So I admit it. That's exactly when all of these new allegations came from all these new people all across the country.
Okay, I have a
From people.
question. Infiltration said allegedly Imani said in her video that she lives with her mom now. Remember, it was said that Imani was left everything. If that was the case, then everything would go through Imani, which meant Tanisha. No, Imani won't get anything until she turns of age. Will get something, but it's given to her through her grandmother and her uncle buys for her.
She's given a stipend, and y'all acting like Imani is 6. Imani is 12, 13.
Yeah.
So she's giving us. She know what kind of shoes she wants and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's giving a stipend so she can survive.
They take her shopping so she can buy what she wants.
And such as the grandmother never wanted to be a part of this at all, period. I think I remember the first time I went to court, they had to give her some water. She didn't want to be in all this stuff.
Yeah.
That woman was grieving her son. I thought it was so wrong.
That pushed into
this was
that.
just a bad move on Samantha's part.
Yeah.
The way she handled this. Maybe her intentions were right. I don't really know. But the timing
I'm going to say this. Lauren London was behind it all because Lauren London knew what the hell she was doing. She was trying to secure that
Lauren
bag.
London was forming 3 days. She was forming her company while they were doing this. So that's what was going on. She was forming her company.
The 3 days later.
Yeah,
Lauren was securing that bag. She knew what the hell she was doing. I'm going to secure my bag. I'm going to let y'all take care of this so y'all get that little girl away from over there, because if she's away from that, she can't get this. I'm going to get this for Cross.
Yep, and then went to court to make sure that they didn't take Cross from her and file her guardianship to make sure they didn't take her son.
She did her stuff in secret. She filed hers in secret.
Exactly. Make sure they didn't take her son. Use powerful Hollywood lawyers. But Tanisha would legally control. No, Tanisha wouldn't control her portion infiltration unless the guardian, like the mom, the grandma, gave it to her and said, well, this is what they gave her for the month. They would give it to her that way. But if Imani were to sound the alarm, they would snatch Imani out of there in a heartbeat.
Okay, they're saying infiltration also said that she said I was right, but Tanisha would legally control her portion of her estate because she would be her legal guardian. She wouldn't have to control anything. Imani is old enough to be able to go shopping on her own.
Yeah, the grandma, she gets a stipend each month from the estate, from Black Sam. It would go to the grandma who would decide how that's to be done. But the kid is old enough herself to, know what she wants. She ain't got to pay no rent. She know what she want to go to the mall and get.
And her mama don't have to control nothing, because if she's getting a stipend, she's getting so much. I don't know if it's so much a week, so much a month. All her mama got to do is go to the store with her to take her shopping.
Yep, she sure did, Keita, for the week of the funeral. Keita owned it, boy. Look at her.
Yeah.
Keita, you on everybody's page.
Yeah, Keita everywhere. Okay, now, from what I heard, they are saying that Tanisha is pregnant and showing.
Tell them to show you.
Huh?
Tell them to show you. Tanisha is not a coward. She would show a baby bump on IG and be glad. Tell them to show you.
Now, I looked at Lauren. Lauren looked like she put on some weight. She looked a little bit hippie there, like, some women.
She always had an odd shape. That's why they only show her from the face up.
Yeah, because her chest looks flat, like it's smushed in and sagging down. And
Don't do that. Don't do that. You have her go and get surgery. You keep that up.
she do. You know, she looks normal around the hip area, but she ain't really. It's disproportionate. Cause I'm telling you, it looked
Well,
like it's smashed down, and then it got the little droop, and then it looked like a little mosquito bump under there. A normal chest sits up like, see y'all, mine sit up. Mine ain't
so you saying
smashed down and then pooched out. Hers look like they
so
just smashed down like she's got a
so
double titties.
so are you saying she should have a yarmulke on and it's not kosher?
It ain't even deal. I can't with you. I ain't gonna do this with you, but I'm gonna tell the truth. Her stuff looks like she's got double. She should have double nipples, cause it's flat here and it look like it should be some nipples here, and then it goes down, and then it look like it should be another.
You said if it ain't deal, it's kosher.
It ain't kosher. It ain't kosher.
One thing we know is not black eyed peas and ham hocks. So what
it sure ain't. It sure ain't. I can't even call it kosher. I say that's that green. That's that green shake.
Higgins is funny.
That's that green shake.
Alexis Higgins said it ain't sweet either. That green shake ain't doing that. Granny look good.
Oh, she said she's stressing because she knows she about to get exposed. You doggone right. Because I think
I just want to see a subpoena and question under oath.
Yes. I want them to ask her. Let me get my gavel. Huh, I got a gavel. Y'all think I'm playing. Let me see.
You got a gavel. That's unfair. I ain't got one.
I want to.
Okay, let's hold trial right here. Okay. Good.
Doggone Lord London, you guilty. You guilty of wearing them clothes that you do knowing you ain't got nothing up top up there.
Wait a minute. That ain't the trial I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. Put her on stand. Let's think of questions we can ask. What would be your question?
My first question, Lauren, where was you? Or nope, not even that. I ain't gonna ask where was you. Lauren, why wasn't you trying to find Nipsey them first 3 days? Guilty.
Well, because I was sick with the flu, and the kids were sick too. We all were sick. One thing about having kids, when they're sick, you get sick too. We sick.
I'm not gonna do it.
Next question.
Okay.
Next.
Lauren, I see you like Nipsey's clothes, and every chance you get, you have on something of his, and I see that you sleep in his shirts. Why?
Well, the marathon must continue. And I decided to take over the whole company so it can continue and the money can all come to me.
Okay. Miss London, since Nipsey has been gone, we noticed that your net worth has gone up. Why is that?
What do you expect when you have insurance policies with the Confluent Group, a high investment group, and he was actually owning the place, and they were actually, I'm going to refer you to my lawyer.
Another question. Lauren, your career has went nowhere. That first movie you did, I would say it was a C at best, C average at best. Your TV show, I know Nipsey put money into that show to keep you working. How did you get the money to buy that house?
Well, to be honest, I did do a movie with Tyler Perry. You forgot.
But your acting skills aren't that good, ma'am. Tyler ain't paying you that good.
Well, and it's, again, investments in the Confluent Group. And, when the kids are sick, I'm sick. So while I'm sick, my money's being invested.
Okay. So, Allegedly, Lauren, I heard that you poisoned Lil Wayne with the antifreeze. Did you do it?
I plead the fifth.
Did you sleep with Puffy? I heard that you did. Did you sleep with Puffy?
I plead the fifth. Those pictures are fake.
Okay. Now.
That's a clone. That's a clone.
Okay.
It's all over the internet. They're creating clones. They cloned me.
Okay. Lauren, how did it feel to be in labor in the hospital and Nipsey pulled up with another woman while you're in the middle of giving birth?
Didn't you hear? I did what Janet Jackson allegedly did. I went and bought me a baby.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Went to India, she never showed a baby bump or anything. Just came back with a big giant baby. A whole baby.
Oh.
You know,
I need a drink of water on this one. That one just caught me off guard.
Everybody in the world, when they get famous, you know, every woman, even Beyonce, they all show that baby bump and proud of it. Janet Jackson, only one we got dressed up in some funeral clothes or something that we can't see anything, and came back with a whole baby.
A whole baby. Big baby. Baby about ready to start walking.
Gave birth to a baby and came back, the baby looked like he was 5.
Right. Right. That baby got teeth, talking. He talking about, mama, can I have a chicken leg?
You got me, girl.
Mama, can I have a sip of your juice?
Give me some of them gummy bears.
Mama, toss me them keys. Let me go take the whip around the block. I'm getting a headache. Oh my God.
But I didn't feel anything because I didn't see her. Did you get her name? Do you know who she is? I do.
Whew.
I do.
I think I may have seen a picture of her.
Maybe somebody here can tell me. Whatever happened to the marathon models?
They were all Tanisha's friends.
I knew it. Somebody told me that.
They also did the video. I had a person.
Somebody told me that was her whole idea.
It was, and I'm getting ready to tell you something else. The video that he did, I can't think of the name. Double Up, was that Double Up with him in the house where Lauren London played the ex-girlfriend that ran off with the money, then tossed the phone out the window, and then she came back and he was buying the house from the dude.
Yeah,
is that Double
I think
Up?
I've seen some of that video.
I'm told that him and Lauren wasn't together at that time. And that girl that Nipsey had in that video was actually a girl that Nipsey was seeing.
He should have been, because I sure as heck would have.
But listen though. When he came in there and introduced, because Lauren was in there and Nipsey kind of entered. That was really an introduction of, that wasn't the actual name. That wasn't her name though. But Nipsey was introducing her to Lauren, and Lauren looked at her up and down like, cute. But
no, forget that. I would have. I don't blame him. He should have. I would have. No hesitation.
Cause see, Lauren, it was told that Lauren, that guy that played in that video, Lauren knew him and got him to play that part that Lauren was messing around.
Yeah, he was
with
from ATL. That was the guy who wanted to get out of the hood in ATL.
That's the guy Lauren was messing with.
I don't. But nothing. You know what? Nothing would surprise me what those people do. If you listen to some stuff like G and Dale tell you about what these people do in the orgies and stuff that they have in Hollywood, nothing would surprise. They all exchange each other and pass around. Yep. That's why I tell people all the time, if you want to know what happened to Cat Williams, go back and watch Pimp Chronicles 1. Now, as funny as it is, what people don't understand is Cat Williams is telling you the truth. You laughing at the truth on his experience. And he reveals all of that in the Pimp Chronicles. He reveals all that. It's funny, but he's telling the truth. He's telling you how he feels, the parties he was invited to, the homosexual men that tried to have him. He's telling all about it.
And then a lot of people don't want to listen to Gene Deal. They want to think that he's just making up stuff. No, he's telling the truth.
After that, I said they're gonna get Cat Williams. And after Pimp Chronicles 1, Cat Williams ain't never been the same after releasing all the information.
Yep. Because then you go to seeing him fighting with little boys and getting beat up by little boys.
Well, it was a gang of boys. So you know, it was one little 17-year-old, but, you know, behind that 17-year-old was about 25 other dudes.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to kind of pick your battles. You just take the lick and get out of there alive, or do you take on homeboy and all 27 dudes behind him? I think Cat should have never even got involved because he could have died that day. He should have went to church the next day and thank God.
They said Cat Williams was blackballed. Yeah.
Cat was blackballed because he kept telling y'all the truth. You know, he could not. You know, some people are not ready for that lifestyle. And when he saw that lifestyle, he started to telling people what it was he saw in comedy, like comedians do. But some people didn't find it funny.
Right. But it's
especially
a lot
people
of
he was
things.
Telling on.
There's a lot of things that go on in Hollywood, and people would think that it's far-fetched and be like, nah, I don't believe that. But it actually does happen.
It's just like the crimes that Harvey Weinstein committed against these women and actresses. Look at what they had to do to get those roles. You'd have thought they came out with talent. No. Just look at what he did. I won't even make you sick to tell you what he did to get sentenced to that time in jail, which I don't think he's in jail, but nevertheless, my point being, that was some horrible stuff that he did to those people and got away with it for all those years. And that's Oprah Winfrey's guy.
But then they want to put Bill Cosby in jail over a woman that lied.
That's what I don't understand.
And they're still not going to let him go. And you know he's going blind.
He's already blind. Yeah, he's already blind.
And they still ain't going to let him go.
No, they want to hold him in there 80-something years old. This is what these riots should have been about, taking our black men out of these prisons and stuff of that nature like that and freeing them completely.
But they don't want to let us go because we're money for them. They rather break up the black homes than to see the men home taking care of their families.
So, Real Entrepreneur says that was Jackie Long in that Double Up video.
Yep, that's his name. Yep. That's his name.
Yep. From the ATL. That's what I said. He started in the ATL, you know. I could probably relate more to his character than anything.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I thought that those actors, I'm telling you, if they had a movie that took out the whole new scene, that movie would have been just as classic as Friday.
Yeah. Because her parts was unbelievable.
Her what?
Her parts were unbelievable. She's not even a good enough actress. They could have got somebody else to play that part.
The person who I would have liked to play that part would have been the girl who starred in New Jack City, Vanessa Williams.
The light-skinned Vanessa Williams?
No, the dark-skinned one. No, the dark-skinned girl in New Jack City.
Yeah. Now, I love her.
She would have ate that part. Yeah, she would have ate that part up. Because you had to get somebody who can not only maybe have an idea of what the streets is like, but who's able to actually look the part. She didn't look the part. She killed
that part in New Jack City. She killed that. Yes.
Legendary. Will always be a legendary role.
Or even, what's her name that played in Friday as his sister?
Regina King.
Regina King. She's a damn good actress.
I don't think. No, you need to try to get down gritty for that particular role of the street. I don't think Regina could have I don't think she could have took it there.
I wouldn't say Nia Long, even though Nia Long is a good actress. What's her name?
I think Jada Pinkett could have took it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But
you gotta
Jada
remember
Pinkett
how
is
she
too
burst
old.
into our lives on the screen playing in the hood.
Yeah.
And why she hasn't went back to what made her. And I always thought that she should have did Poetic Justice. I always wanted to ask John Singleton, did he ever consider casting Jada Pinkett in Poetic Justice along with Tupac? I always wondered that.
Yeah, because I think that would have been phenomenal. That would have been a phenomenal movie.
It also would have been a classic movie like Friday had they made a few adjustments in the movie. But unfortunately, we'll never know because now
he's gone.
John is not here as well either. So we'll
I
never
think
get
they could have
the
did
answers to those
anything
questions.
better than having Janet Jackson play in that.
I don't even want to go there. I just had my little Janet joke, but I never thought she could act. Not even in good times. I just went along with it because she was a kid.
Yeah.
I think she's cool, kid. I'm just saying. I just not impressed with her in Poetic Justice back in Bubblegum. It just didn't work.
That don't look right because you don't see her as the bubblegum chewing type.
And I don't see chicks in the hood chewing bubblegum. I see them worried about where their next light bill gonna come from. They ain't chewing bubblegum. They out there holding it down. You see, people got this wrong misperception about people in the hood on the street, and they don't know what it's like.
Right. You know, having to worry about struggling to buy food, paying your bills, where you gonna buy your next your kids' school clothes for the next year.
Exactly.
Paying for the school materials that they need.
Babies, fathers that are denying the children. You ain't getting no child support. If people don't understand what it's like to be in that atmosphere.
Or even being a woman pregnant and the man is gone.
The south side of Chicago. They don't know about Bellwood, Maywood. They don't know about Joliet. This ain't no joke. This ain't no... and see, people got this, they got a wrong image because they don't know nothing about it. So they go off what somebody tells them, and then they try and portray something that they don't really know. And to me, that's what happens. I don't care if Janet Jackson was from Gary. I'm from that area too, but Janet Jackson was one. She wasn't even born, was she? I don't even know how I remember. But she 1 or 2. She don't remember nothing in Gary.
No.
She don't remember nothing in Gary.
Because she was young. She was still young when they left there and moved to California.
Right. So she didn't get that experience. Been raised up in Beverly Hills ever since. She didn't get that experience that the older brothers like Jackie or Tito and Marlon, who they were old enough to understand what that was like.
Right.
Randy didn't even get that experience, to be honest with you. And even Michael was small, so Janet had to be younger than him. She didn't have that memory of hardship like that.
Janet was a baby when they left there. Janet was a baby when they left there.
Exactly. So how you gonna get her to mimic something that she never really got to see other than in movies?
Yeah. Just like Lauren.
But like
you know,
Jada revealed that Tupac saved her life because she was a drug dealer. That was shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, that's not so shocking to me.
That was to me because the way she looked, you never would have thought. And she looked this way ever since she came in on the Cosby Show, and the way she came in, her look hasn't changed. So my point is, she did not have what you would call the batter and bruising that go along with living in the hood. I mean, you know, everybody don't come out looking good. You have scars, man. You have pain.
Well, people would never think, and I'm not ashamed to say it because it was a part of my past. People would never think that I used to sell drugs.
I'm from Chicago. I think you did.
Huh?
You from Chicago. I don't think you did.
You don't think I did what? You don't think I ever did?
I said you from Chicago. I think you sold drugs, all the drugs you can get. You from Chicago.
Man, who you telling?
People don't understand. When you in the hood, you ain't got to be a part of anything. If you live there, you a part of that side of the hood that you in, and you under their protection as well too. They walk you from the bus stop home as well too.
Like I said, this is my past. Many, many, many years ago, if there was a man saying, "Oh, I want to go dance at the strip club," or a female saying, "I want to go dance at the strip club," shit, if you standing still too long, oh, you want to go do what? Let me hurry up and get you something. Get you something together. Let's go. You got to go to work. I ain't playing. I was about my money. But that goes to show you my mentality from back then. I was going to get my money by hook or crook. I was a straight hustler. If I found a way to get $1 that I didn't have to get myself into no mess.
You see, that's the other thing. You're talking about hustling and you're talking about balling, drug dealing. People don't understand the difference between hustling and balling. There's a huge difference between hustling and balling.
Yes,
and they don't understand that because they're too young to understand the role of hustlers and then the role of ballers. Ballers sold drugs. Hustles
would do what you got to do
in various
to get it.
forms and a lot of other ways.
Yep.
And hustlers wasn't into killing because they were in the hustling, making money.
Right.
If you went to jail, you can't hustle.
But when you're a baller, you have no choice because if somebody come at you, you got to do what you got to do to defend yourself.
You got a choice if you're a baller, but
you have your workers to take care of you.
And you kill somebody. You know, one thing I learned from the streets again is that when firearms and murder is used, it brings down the heat. So when you bring down the police, can't no business be done.
Yeah.
So to me, there needs to be other ways, other methods of handling it. If you're not using guns, what they call burners, then ain't no police gonna get involved. But when burners are being used, little children are being shot and being killed, you ain't gonna have no business because police gonna have to be involved. They're gonna swarm that place and be there forever.
Right.
But when the generals wasn't in jail, they kept all them burners down. I remember when you had to go to the prison to get permission from the prison to do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
If you did anything to anybody without permission from the prison, they took out your whole family.
Yeah.
Because you had to get permission. So
and that's crazy.
This rule with taking out the leadership, putting the leadership away for just mob action and anything they could, was the dumbest, stupidest rule that this country could have ever came up and left all these renegades making up rules as they go along.
And that's crazy because people in the prisons knew what was going on the outside before the people on the outside knew. That was crazy.
Listen, thank you for having me on the show. What's up, y'all? I see y'all out here.
All right, thank you for coming, Tanique. Anytime. I appreciate you stopping through.
Anytime, no problem.
We'll have to do this again real soon. You have a beautiful night.
Let's just have a whole platform. Let's have a whole show.
Will do. You be blessed and have a blessed night and be a blessing to someone else.
Definitely.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. We've been on here for a while. Having our conversation, having our laughs. It's always a pleasure having Tanique on, my brother Tanique. I appreciate him for coming through. I still never got through my paperwork of asking him all the questions that I wanted to ask, but that's okay. We got it out there, what we got, and shed some light on some things. I'm sorry, you guys. My mouth is dry. I had to give me a piece of gum. But I want to thank y'all for coming on to the show. I've got this in the phone talking here, and I'm talking to you guys here. I want to thank you guys for coming in, stopping in with me. Gosh, we've been on here for 3 hours talking, so I did pretty good. I hope this was informative to you as it was for me. We've got some things that we may know, may not have known. I hope I did get all your questions answered for you as we were going through. Oh, 1 million hits is live. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm not going to hold you guys on here long. I'll play one song for you and keep the other songs for tomorrow. Or matter of fact, I'll just play my closing song because I don't want you guys to miss anything of 1 million hits. You guys go check him out. I want to go check him out too. So, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Be blessed and be a blessing. One love, one nation. Have a good night. Let me find my exit music.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.